I told him what would happen if something happened. I said I'd be here. Now this is when we find out.
Yeah.
I'll be dead going. Never thought I'd see a time in my life when this would happen, but it has. Hey, Nikki's here! Fraggle's here! Hey, computer, pause. I gotta go to my copyright. Computer, pause! Computer, stop music! You're gonna get me in trouble, computer. Gee whiz! I can't have any copyright. Jess is here, Fraggle's here, Trent. Hey, Virgil! Man, I'm seeing new people. George is here, Vicky's here. I told you if I got to see a few friends here that I'd go nuts. That makes me so happy. All right, well, did you guys get the same message I did? TikTok is now dark, and I'm sorry, guys, it went dark, but it's down. Omega Naught! Ah! See, it's gonna be all right. We got family on this end. 13 of you. What did I say? If I saw 5 or 10 of you, I'd be just over the moon. I got 13 friends here. We're gonna do our story time. We're gonna do our very first ever story time here. I gotta put some old music on, the copyright free. I'm gonna do the copyright free jazz. I like that. So what did I call it? Not copyright free, but royalty. Yeah. Computer, play royalty free jazz music.
Here's a mix for you.
20 friends. All right, I'm gonna do a roll call. Little Mutt's Garage, James. Holy cow, Shelly, I see you, baby. All right, Sundog's here, Amy Long, man. We're back, look at that. 24 friends, I can't believe it. We're gonna be okay over here. We're gonna be here, listen, we will be here no matter what happens with Uncle TikTok. This is gonna grow over here. We're gonna be here Monday through Friday. I'm gonna be putting out videos here. I'm gonna be just hammering it. Gonna be super duper busy, so please follow up with us here. I'm gonna be putting YouTube shorts, YouTube long, I'm gonna be doing all that stuff, but most importantly, story time will take place right here. It's gonna look different. Laura, I see you, lovable lady. Misa's here, James. I'm gonna do Jalen. I'm gonna do nothing but a roll call. I'm gonna see if I can start remembering names, but we're gonna have to start figuring out the features here because I don't know anything. I do know that you can like, and I believe you can like, just like over on TikTok. There is even gifts, but I don't know if I'm set up. Can you see anywhere for gifts on there? I think Shelly said there might even be gifting available here, which would be freaking cool. But you don't have to. Again, it's just like PBS, free, 100%. Only if people wanted to down the road, we'll sort that stuff out. We do have our giving apps over there that I'll put up. If anybody enjoyed the story, you could certainly help contribute until we get everything sorted out. I don't know what's going to happen with the funding that was in TikTok.
I don't see any.
So right now, we're really, I don't know what to do. So, we thought that Uncle TikTok would take everything out of our account and give it to us, but it seems like just like when you lose an account, we might be dead in the water with that. So I hope not, but it's not good for us. Hey, Virgil, we still are in Florida. Queen Chewy, howdy, hybrid. Hey, Laura, it definitely happened earlier than they said. I thought it happened a little bit longer. Well, it's wrong if they don't pay it. You got that right, Andrea. That's our livelihood. And, we work hard and stuff. So, I don't know what we're going to do. We'll find out. Fran's here. Lemonade is gone now, too. Oh, man, that was the first thing I was going to check when I got off of here. Oh, you're kidding me. I had 20,000 of you guys. Fran's here. I just know Fran. Holy cow. So let's talk about some of the good things, and then we're going to do our very first story. You guys are here there's 41 friends. You're here for our very first Preacher Preacher story time. And this is going to stay here. You could come out, you can come back and listen to it later. We're going to play royalty-free music, so you don't have to worry about copyright violations. We're still going to do the same thing. We're going to pick from you, but there's going to be some big differences here, guys. Shelly, can you tell them about some of the things? She's looking into a new phone number that we're going to use, so we'll have a phone that you can call in. We're going to talk with you on the phone. We're going to tell you stories. We're going to have a great time. We're going to set it up. There's some other large content creating friends. Nikki, holy cow, Nikki, send us something over, Nikki. Thank you. You got no idea how much that, wow. Holy cow. Oh man, 51 friends. So we're going to have this all set up for posterity. We've never been able to have a call in because of content violations and stuff over on TikTok. Here we're going to have a phone that you can call in. We can talk about anything you want. If we talk about aliens, then I want to hear your stories and I'll tell you a story about aliens. So this is going to be really fun for us. We're going to be here Monday through Friday. I'm committing to you guys. I'm going to be here for you. And I'm going to be here for you. So Monday through Friday, we're going to come on every night. You can expect me at the same time. Please come in and say hi, hang out, be a part of our family in our front row. The Creature Preacher Posse has moved over to a new location for a day or two. I still think TikTok's coming back, but for the meantime, please hang out with us here, and we're going to tell our first story. I can't believe it. I got to sit down, man. You guys are overwhelming me. I got to sit down and see my friends. This is crazy. This is so cool to see you guys here. All right, I know that we're all upset. We're all kind of like feeling some kind of way. So I'm going to tell a story in just a minute. We're going to forget about all that. I promise we're going to get it out of our heads. But first, I want to see you guys. Tell me who you are here and who you were over there. Love to see how many hopped over. Mike Weaver, I'm in tears, man. Big Red, Charlie. Hey, Margaret Navarro. Man, you guys, Baby Yoda, you guys are amazing. It's weird not tapping. Oh, is that what it is? So I was wondering about that. We'll figure all that stuff out. I know you guys would want to help out however you can. Hey, Megan McPherson, what do you say? Crystal Seaman, I see you, Charlie. Matthew Morris, Tall Legacy, is that you? Hey, guys. Amy Long, oh, man. I'm so glad to see you, Fraggle. You can't even read the chat? Oh, no. Oh no, going on a fly. I see you, Omega Not Megan. And I'm going to try to get you guys set up. I know that I can get my moderator set up over here too. And I'm going to need you guys. I'm going to really need you over here. We're going to, I know it's not TikTok. We're going to try to do everything we can to at least make it better. Now, here's something that's going to be really fun. We're talking about all the stuff that we're doing and we're implementing it this week kind of stuff. We're trying to figure out a way that you guys have more control of the stories. So I have a website set up, my Patreon, but I'm going to try to set up another website where you can vote right on the website and see it in real time here. That's going to be freaking unbelievable. We've never done anything like that. So we just are in a new situation. We're going to try to hold on, keep our heads above water, but we're going to do everything we can to make this the best experience in story time that you've never had. And so no more constraints. The shackles are off. If I get done here tonight and I want to take you 55 friends on a crazy adventure looking for Bigfoot in the middle of the woods or go riding a bike downtown over the Destin Bridge or whatever, go to the beach at 3 a.m., I can do it. I don't have to worry, man. Do you know how happy that makes me? Because that's what I do with my life, and all I've ever wanted was to take you guys along. We could go to the island right now. I could go on the kayak. In fact, we might. You guys kick butt tonight, and you help us hit some of our goals, and maybe we'll go to the kayak tonight in the middle of the night. And I can do that, no problemo. I can get the kayak, and we can pedal off into the dark night together, you and I. I don't have to worry about Uncle TikTok going, dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Will Robinson, no, sirree, Bob. We'll be all right, you and I. So I'm excited, but the idea of being able to call in, that's going to be the first thing I implement. I'm going to try to do that Monday, and hopefully Tickety Talk will be back Monday, but we're going to be doing this over here. So the call in, we're trying to do it because we don't have another phone. Shelly might let me use her phone at night, but I might be able to do it on the tablet. So what it is, it's a Google phone number. And I think that's what it was, a Google phone number. So you guys, even my international callers, you should be able to, as long as you have Google, you should be able to get in touch with me. So let's say that that night we're talking about, let's say, aliens. I want to hear from what you guys have to say. So you'll be able to call that number, and it'll be hopefully a whole bunch of people, I hope, calling. There's 62 friends. I'm going to see you. I'm going to read all your comments. Going on a fly! Hey. But I'm going to have it all set up to where I can actually talk with Going on a Fly. Mike Weaver, what do you say? I'd love to be able to call you, and I'd love to hear if you've had an alien encounter. And then I'd love to, while he's on the phone, be able to tell the story. And that's what we're going to do. Shelly is setting everything up. We for a very long time, you friends have been so good to us, and you've allowed us to have these story times. And I think they're going to get better than they've ever been. I know it's different. We got to get used to all the things. I thought a lot of those things should be done, but maybe not, but we'll see. Let's read some comments now, and then we're going to tell a story. Marge Phillips, the mothership is coming across the Gulf, apparently. Oh, man, you never know. Mike Weaver, love to call in one of these nights. You will. I'm excited for that. Cooper! Laura, the lovable lady, is favorited down too. I can't get onto that. Oh, no, I'm glad I didn't start one of those yet, but I'm planning on it. Maybe that's a problem. Medic Heather, hey, Zenos, Edmundo, we got the posse here, brother. Shelly, Creature Preacher Posse strong. We got 61 people on Uncle YouTube. You guys do me a favor and share it out. We're going to tell a story. Maybe, just maybe, Carl Ray's in the house. What do you say, Rev? All right, I'm going to keep raiding. Hot Pink Girl, can't wait. Diane Melton, is that Meemaw? All right, I see you, Diane. That's our Meemaw. We need to have that name on there. We got to know that Meemaw's in the house. Meemaw's in the house. All right, guys, so story time's going to get bigger. Story time's going to get better, and we're going to have more adventure and more fun. All this other stuff is just noise, the figuring out gifted and liking and all that. The thing that matters the most, I have 64 family members in here, 64 people that I personally can't live without, and I didn't want to live without, and I couldn't live without. So I'm glad you're here. I hope everything gets sorted on Uncle TikTok, but I do want you to know that this TikTok, YouTube's been around forever, and I reckon it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So I believe this will probably be the most stable place. There are some really good benefits. The benefits are it'll always be here. These lives, if you worked that night and you missed out, like I have some friends that work nights like Scott. I hope I see Scott, Gulf Coast diver, over here. But, he'll be able to come and listen later. If he's driving, my good friend David Miller will be able to listen as he drives and things. So we're going to keep reading. Hey, Medic, I'm so glad Edmundo. Hey, Selma, Martine, bling, bling. Fran, oh my gosh, it's freedom. Just seeing Fran here, that makes me so bloody happy, I'll tell you what. Oh, man. Penny Marie, hey, Pharaoh Foster. Anomaly, I'm a lurker now. I see you. James, I'm so happy to see you. Nikki Knack, all right, Nikki. It's neat seeing some of you guys. Leslie, I'm so glad to see you. Marge Phillips. All right, Heidi! Honest Lyman, finding my own path. Man alive, it felt like they did put us to sleep like a dog, didn't it? We were telling a story, and right after that, it just went red. It didn't do what I expected, though. I thought that it would do like I just got bananaed, but instead, it just took my Wi-Fi away. Because my government's the one that did that. They just shut off our access to it, I think, is how they did it, maybe. But isn't that something? Just 1 minute we're on, the next, delete. We got deleted. That's all right. I think that what's going to happen is there's going to be some pushing and shoving behind the scenes, and they're going to get it situated. The question is, it might not come back to us. We might not have our accounts anymore. I know that Shelly and I had, all of our cash in there and everything for the week, and there's nothing they haven't told us what's going to happen with that, so I assume it's all gone. That's what happened when I lost my other big account. At that time, I had almost $180 in there. It was a lot of money. And, it came out then, like you could take it out every day. That used to be weird. You could take it out after every stream, you could take out your funding. And then they made it once or twice a week, and then they made it once a week. They've changed everything. We've never had any kind of say on anything. We're just kind of happy to go along with it. But when they lost that account, I said, hey, what about all those diamonds in there that my friends gave? And they did what TikTok's known for. They ghosted me. They ghosted me. So I think they probably just ghosted every American out there. They got one big old fat payday. If they don't come back, they're just like, na boo boo, we got your money. Like, what in the world? I can't believe that. But that was something that I'd considered. Michael Shuttleworth, what do you say? Oh, you got your rail pass, I hear that. Nikki Knack, I can still chat on TikTok Live, just pushing anyone in it over here. That's so weird. I'm so glad we got somebody still on the inside. All right, let's listen to Nikki Knack. Nikki Knack, and you guys follow each other here too, please. Take the time now to follow each other up. We need to create a nice little posse here too so we don't lose each other. And when I get done here, I'm going to start putting videos over here, dumping stuff. We're going to make it lively. Atlantia, Sally Atlantia. Matthew Morris, you're amazing. So Nikki said that she can get on there. Strangely, I can still chat on the TikTok Live, just pushing anyone in it over here. So isn't that something? Nikki, you're going to have to tell us more of what TikTok's doing now. All right, let's read some more. I can't keep up. Michael Shuttleworth. I was one follower short of 500 on TikTok. Dadgummit. Well, we're going to follow you up here. I got to see if I can do that right now if I'm able to. I opened up Michael Shuttleworth. It said add as moderator. I can do it. So I can get you guys set up. Let's get started on that. I'm going to get some of my friends set up. We're going to read through chats. You guys are absolutely amazing. Medic, Nikki Knack, Kirsten Nitzel. I was in your live when it went down. Kirsten, I see your picture. Here's the same, and I am so happy. Omega Naut, let me get you set up. Omega Naut is getting pinned as our very first. A managing moderator. So there's regular moderators can review and remove chat messages and hide or put users in timeout. But a managing moderator can manage blocked words and change chat modes in live and also has the capabilities. Oh, that sounds like a job for Omeganaut. Would you guys, this is our inauguration. I'm about to cry over this. I'm just so happy to see my friends. I can't even, I gotta step away for a second. Christopher, you're live. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy to see you guys. Because the only thing that's ever mattered, I don't care about the money in there at all. I should, but I don't. The things I care about are you. It's not Vince. So seeing you guys is overwhelming me with happy tears. And being able to make Christopher a moderator over here.
Songs by Christopher.
No, computer pause. I don't need to hear that. Christopher, I didn't know you had songs.
Oh,
How great is it that our friends are here with us?
yes. Thank you all for being here.
I'm so happy, and I'm going to get our other friends set up too. I'm not trying to be a crybaby. I'm just so happy to see you guys. We're going to tell the story. We'll change things up here in a minute. Shani, do you know where my glasses are?
I'll check.
I'll be right out, guys.
We might be on two out there.
Look at my eyes. I need those ones.
Yep, here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. All right. I have sensitive eyes. The light bothers them and everything else. Finding my own path. Shannon Biggs. There we go. We got Christopher. We got Omeganaut. I can show you guys cool stuff. I got to be careful about showing you pictures, though. I don't think I can show you pictures of animals and stuff. I got in trouble one time because I had TV on and it had some stuff playing on it. All right, let's read some more. Miranda Jackson, if the government wants to control us, they're going to have to play whack-a-mole. I hear that. Fraggle Rockstar, you're now blue, Christopher. Let's get Fraggle. There we are, Fraggle. You guys say hello to Fraggle Rockstar. Let's get Fraggle set up as a managing moderator. That's right. Oh, man. Guys, I'm so happy to see you. I'm crying happy tears over here. I know that there's loss. I know that we don't have TikTok. We don't have the things that we're used to, but it's never been about those things for me. I know that a lot of content creators, it's been about what I can get from you. What can you give me? But for Shelly and I, we can't believe that you care enough to give us anything. We love you. That's not why we love you. We love you because you care. You've been here with us. You followed us on our journey. You've been a part of our journey and part of our family. Both Shelly and I, in some way, are little orphan kids trying to find family, and you've been our family. So just to see you over here, I can't even tell you. I can't even really begin to tell you, but we're going to try. We're going to have some stories. Now, things are going to start looking different here. We're going to have to figure out ways to vote. We're going to have to figure out things. I've got all these little buttons up here that I'm going to be. It says highlight saved to your channel as unlisted video. I don't know what that means, but I'm trying to figure out what some of these buttons are over here, just to see what I'm able to do. Start a poll? Well, I got a poll, so that's a good thing there. Start a poll. So I'm learning as we go here, guys. So let's see. I'm going to try a poll that says ask your community, optional. This is a very simple poll. Live. So for whoever who gets this story, if you want the person to live, type yes or no. I think that's how it works. We're going to have to figure this stuff out. I started a poll. I don't know how it's going to work. Hey, Fran, how do we respond to each other in the chat? That's a good question. And I need our friends. Lantia, Fran, I can't believe it. So happy to see you. I hope your family's doing well. We love you. Silver Forest, Elizabeth, I'm going to have to get used to it. Well, I didn't know you were a Miss Ramirez. It reminds me of Highlander, Ramirez, Sean Connery. That is a good one. Rich Dennis, just push all the buttons until you push them. Don't do that. You're going to have somebody blow up the chat. Boom! The red button, not that one. All right. Atlantia, I'm so happy to see you. Computer, I got to try to play this again. I want to have some non-copyright jazz. I was playing it earlier and it was really nice.
Oh.
This one won't work. Can I do that?
Yeah, of course.
What's those other? Copyright. Let's see what I'm looking for.
Roads.
Yeah. Computer, play royalty-free jazz music.
Here's a mix for you.
Is that officially?
Yeah, of course.
I'm putting some royalty-free jazz. So this is something that I didn't get quite done today, but I'm going through all the royalty-free music. You know, my favorite type of music anyway is old jazz, classical, just really old kind of mood music, folk music. So I'm putting together royalty-free music. So we'll have a little bit different experience, but we'll have some music on here. That's one thing I'm used to being able to pick whatever music we want. But if we want to keep these lives, I can't have it both ways. It's either you listen to me talk and tell stories or you listen to the music, because Uncle YouTube will copyright violate me for music. So we got to be careful about that. All these things I got to learn. Shannon Biggs, is that you? Shannon's in the house. Amy Long, Eric, I'm so happy to see you. Tracy McGivern, it says type at, then start spelling their name. Oh, cool. So 49 votes. Holy cow, you guys are absolutely amazing. Live, 65% said live, 35% said no. All right, I'm loving it. I'm going to ask Omeganaut, if you don't mind, Omeganaut, would you pick our very first victim tier over here on Uncle YouTube? And would you believe it, there's 60 friends here. I cannot believe it. If you are able to share us out, if you can figure out, maybe one of our friends can figure out how to share. Maybe you can figure out ways that we can lure people in, because I'm not sure how we go about making noise here or how it works. But we are going to take over this joint. You and I, we're going to do it. We are going to do it. I believe in you, and I believe that we can do it. So we want to get as many people as we can get in here, because we need more victims. That's what, at the end of the day, I need more victims, and I need more heroes. So if you guys can help me figure it out, I'm going to be making a whole bunch of videos and trying to grow our little family. I feel like a daddy trying to get you more brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? So I got to really get to work and get you more brothers and sisters. But I'm going to ask you to help us out in the meantime if you can. All right, so let's get that poll. I got to figure out how to get that poll off of my... I ended the poll. All right, so 67%. You guys want something good to happen. Hey, Charlie, 51 votes. Thank you guys so much. That's the way we're making noise. Friends are coming in. Look at that. Shannon Biggs, you got it, Fran. Fran. Let me get Fran set up. I'm so sorry, Fran. What was I doing here? Oh, my goodness. I'm just so excited. Fran, you are also set up as a managing mod. I know that you get busy. I hope to goodness I get to see you guys. And Fran, the great thing is, even if you're busy that day and you're at work, you stop in anyway, and you can listen while you go to bed. You can listen to the lives. Hey, we'll only say good things about you while you're gone. But I'm so happy to see you. So Monday through Friday, you guys expect me here. I do have to. There will be times that I'm going to say, "Hey, kiddos, I'm going to give you plenty of warning." You know, Friday I'm taking off because I'm on the way to the Everglades to catch some snakes or film or do something. But you're going to get plenty of warning. And in those cases, the coolest thing in the world is you can come with me. No matter where I am, if I'm out in the Everglades and I get a little bit of service, I'll pop on. And I don't have to worry about if I'm holding a snake or something, or I got bit by something on camera. I can get bit by stuff again. Holy cow. Shelly, I can get bit again. Holy cow. Yee, I can get bit again. Bit again. I couldn't do that over on Uncle TikTok. I get bit by a tiny little snake, just a little itty bitty snake, just a little, a safe one. And Uncle TikTok would go, "Oh no. He did him," you know, and friends, I got buddies like Garrett. He'll hold a water moccasin in his hand, like he'll hold a water moccasin, no problema. But I pick up a hognose snake, and they're like, "Oh, you see what Creature Preacher did? He's too old to do that with that dumb mustache. We must violate him." All right, Maggie loves Baby Yoda. I love seeing your name, Hybrid. Selma, just seeing my familia here, man. I can't get over it. Are we really over on YouTube? This is weird. It's weird. And every time I think about going over to the other one, all right, so let's see that story. So we got a story where you live. What's a kick butt awesome thing that you can think of? We need a really happy story. You want a story about TikTok coming back, everybody blowing up and going viral? We do whatever you guys want. If you're new here, maybe we got some new people through our YouTube or what we do for story time. And also, guys, we're going to be inviting in Uncle Instagram and Uncle Facebook to our little party, our little soiree. We've never done that before, but we are going to invite them in. So when I refer to you now, if you don't mind, instead of calling you Uncle YouTube, instead of saying Uncle TikTok, I'm just going to refer to you as Creature Preacher Posse, if that's all right with you. It makes life a lot easier. That way I can say Creature Preacher Posse from here or from here or from there. But I'm very excited that you guys are here. The show's only going to grow. Shelley is helping me tirelessly to set up. We're going to have online voting where you can, in real time, go over to a Creature Feature website and you can take part on your voting right there. You can have another little page got up. If you wanted to gift, we're going to set it up to where you can gift over there possibly, and it reads on the phone that we have. Like if you gifted, you could say $5 to keep the show going. We hate your mustache. I don't care. It'll read it out loud, so be mindful of that, though. I think it's going to read out. I saw that on Mr. Beast, or somebody else was doing a live stream, and I was like, how do they do that? Because their friends would send $2 or $1.50 or something and say, this is for a drink, or this is for this, you dirty son of a gun. Read it out loud. I thought that was the funnest thing. So we're going to add different ways, and we're going to have guests and different things. So a lot of our big content creating friends, I have a lot of good friends that I've met that are content creators, and that's what they're going to continue to do. Some of them are displaced. If TikTok doesn't come back Monday, they're just as displaced, right? So I've been talking with them. So you guys will probably have some fun guests, maybe on Fridays. You might see another content creator that you know well come in my box, and we'll do something different. So we're really excited. Even though it's bad and it kind of hurts and stuff, we're excited too because it's got some new options. Fraggle, I am so happy to see you up there. You know that. And you're blue. So let me see. What was the punk poop? Was that a gift? What was the punk poop? I don't even know what that is. There's a little punky poop. I don't know. What is that? I like it. I'm seeing some cool little things. Marge Phillips put like a little thinger. It looks like a caterpillar. What is that? So plus, if you have a smart TV, we're going to have to wait on the smart TV. Down the road. So the plan is, just like before we had the TV behind us, we'll have that set up with my computer with that website up there. So we'll see in real time all the polls and things. So if we wanted to see what's going on. And Shelley was so good to put, for the time being, we do have this, and for the time being, which will be mirrored in a moment. But those are all the ways. I think, Shelley, are they able to access my link tree on YouTube to see all of our other social media and our giving tree? Oh, cool beans. You guys are unbelievable. You know that. All right, let's read your ideas, and we're going to tell our story. What are those poopy things? I love it. I love the color, man. What is this? I don't know what it is, but I like it. Elizabeth Ramirez. Colors. It makes me happy. Misha. It's a scoreboard, so to speak. I'm loving it. I love these little things. Aliens in Antarctica. I like it. Punk poop. Hey, friend. I don't know what it is, but I like it. It's so fun. All right. Let's see. So, aliens. What else you guys got? We got some aliens. And remember, you guys lived through this one, right? This is a happy story. Okay. Aliens, we could definitely. How about we do that? Let's just start off with some aliens in Antarctica. Some happy aliens, some happy-go-lucky aliens. I like it. This is going to be our very first. We'll get better, too. We'll get to where it's more seamless for you, I promise. Let's get some color going for me, though.
And they confirmed, and I confirmed that we can see it. You don't have to mirror it.
Oh, you can see it?
Yeah.
Get out of Dodge. Shelley said you guys confirmed it because you're amazing. And I'm so glad I got my moderators. Oh, man. Let me get some agua, though. We're going to tell our story. Woohoo! Shelley, our friends are here, baby. Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, my gosh. I woke up from a dream with tears in my beard, man. Thinking that TikTok was dark and it was still on. And we got on and started telling stories and then it went dark. But seeing you guys here, I got more tears in my beard. Happy tears.
Yeah.
It really just makes me so happy to see you all. Oh, water, good. Water is a scarce thing in Antarctica as well. We didn't pick a new story, did we? So, Fraggle. Fraggle gets our second pick. Fraggle, would you do me the honor of picking our first hero? Oh, I wish I could play it, but I can't. Shelley, hey, does anybody know how copyright works? Could she play We Need a Hero? I mean, could you sing that, I wonder? I wonder if Shelley, if she sang that song, can anybody answer this? If she sang We Need a Hero, the song that we like to sing before we do, if she sang it, would that violate copyright? I don't think it would. Do you think you know any of those lines, Shelley?
I'll see.
You guys, oh man, we got something. I'm going to have Fraggle pick one of you for the story, and then I'll put you on the board.
Hello.
But first, we need to get our mood right. We need a hero.
Okay, please excuse me if I mess up because I haven't practiced this or anything. Where have all the good men gone and where are all the gods?
You can do it.
Where's the street-wide Hercules to fight the rising odds? Oh, excuse me, I accidentally tripped Crete.
Belt it out. You got this.
I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night. He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be fast and he's gotta be fresh from the fight. I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero till the morning light. He's gotta be sure and it's gotta be soon and he's gotta be larger than life, larger than life.
Ooh, I like it. We need a hero. You gotta belt that one out. I need a hero. Thank you, Shelley.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get one of our heroes now. So, Fraggle, if you don't mind, grab us a hero. Somebody that gets to live, and we're going to Antarctica. Has anybody ever been? It's lovely this time of year, I'll tell you what. Computer, play royalty-free jazz music.
Here's a mix for you on Amazon Music.
Somebody said that they've never gotten a story before, and I'm trying to find their comment.
Oh, well, we got Fraggle and Christopher. Somebody said they've never had a story before, but I also want to see if anybody is new. Who's here from YouTube and not from TikTok? I'm really interested to know. And moderators, if you see that, is anybody here that never stumbled across a Creature Preacher Live? And you probably are going, what in the world is going on? I'd like to know. We'll find you anyway. We know you're there. You in the red shirt. You don't belong. You're not a TikToker. You don't belong here. I'm just kidding. We just want to know. If there are any, that'd be fun. But we're going to have Fraggle Rockstar. Fraggle, if you can pick one of our buddies, we need a hero. So later I'll talk Shelley into. I wonder if you can use, because isn't everything on this thing? What do you call that thing that was back here? Your device, your singing device, karaoke machine.
Yeah?
Isn't everything on that royalty free? The music.
I don't think so, but I'll have to double check.
Hey Delia. All right, did I miss it? You guys might have pinned. Trey Chastain right here. No idea what's going on here. All right, Trey. I'm the Creature Preacher. I tell interactive stories. Meaning, if you wanted a story, you'd have to have some thick skin because you might get probed by an alien in Antarctica in your story, or you might win the lottery or you might become a superhero. You never know what you're going to get. But we make these stories up. I'm not reading anything. You just have to stick around and listen to the story and see if you like it or not, though. But it might be your time for a story if you're brave enough. The fact is, this is a good story to get because you get to live in this one. So something good's going to happen. But it might be scary first. I don't know yet. If you've ever liked Choose Your Own Adventures, you're probably not old enough for that. But if you've ever seen a Choose Your Own Adventure book, you kind of write it in what you want to do next. It's kind of like that. I don't know. But glad to have you. I hope you'll stick around. Underground World? Oh, James, I got you, buddy. We're going to Antarctica. We're going where it's warm in Antarctica this time of year. Fraggle Pigdelia! All right, you're amazing. Thank you for putting it in caps. That's why Fraggle said I can't read the chat. I'm going to have to get used to that. Delia, let's get you set up. Delia was a research assistant at a wonderful school. She was studying ecology, and she had got her dream job, essentially. Her dream job as a research assistant would be traveling to McMurdo, to Antarctica. She was studying ecology, but specifically she was studying something called extremophiles. She was studying things like tardigrades and organisms that live in very harsh conditions that should not be able to live there. And there was a reason she studied that. She believed in the idea of extraterrestrial life, Delia did. So she went to school, she worked hard, she studied, and she got picked to be a research assistant for a very well-known professor at the school she currently was in, which was Harvard. She could write a blank check and do anything she wanted. But it was always her dream to visit the McMurdo airfield, to see Antarctica, to work there, to stay there, to study there. It's an amazing place. You can think of it rather like the International Space Station. It's as remote as you can get on planet Earth and as hostile to human life as you can get anywhere on the planet. Imagine temperatures negative 80 degrees, dropping below that. Did you know your lungs will crystallize at negative 50? That's right. You take in a deep breath of 50-degree air, your lungs will freeze. You'll never be the same. It'll create scar tissue. You'll barely be able to breathe like somebody with COPD. She was drawn to it, though. There were organisms that could live in such conditions. If they could live there, then why not on an icy planet? Why not on an exoplanet? Why not? People thought. And Delia was one of those. She wasn't prepared, though, when she flew in. The only planes going in and out were U.S. military planes. She felt like cattle or sheep or a tank. It was full of all types of things. Half of it belonged to Uncle Sam, but the rest was meant for the research station itself. She didn't understand why there was so much military presence. She didn't understand much of anything that was going on. She had been called with the professor out of the blue. He had alerted her only 14 hours before and said, listen, we have an opportunity of a lifetime. I've been called to go to Antarctica for a very special assignment that I can't talk about right now. I'm only taking 2 research assistants. She didn't hesitate. I'm in, she said. His name was Dr. Johnson. He was extraordinarily well known in his field of ecology and the study of extremophiles. All he was able to tell Delia was that whatever was found would change everything. When she arrived at the base, it was blistering. She arrived in the middle of June, but believe it or not, the weather was horrifying. The wind was blowing with such force that it was negative 65 degrees. She was bundled in no less than 10 layers. She had been told that you had to prepare for such weather. She had a pair of underjohns followed by 2 more pair of underjohns and a pair of jeans and then a pair of fuzzy pants and then coveralls and overalls and then a jacket and a vest. I've never seen somebody so covered. She was sweating before she even left the plane, and it was a short walk in, but they had drilled it through everybody's mind that you could so easily die there if you lost sight of the person in front of you, if it was a blizzard, if the conditions were poor, if you walked outside. Just last year, they lost 2 people from Greenland. Did you know that? 2 young research assistants. They only walked 50 feet between 2 Quonset huts. The first 10 feet, they lost track of each other in the wind, in the blowing snow. They died out there frozen. They found them. Not an hour and a half later, they were both dead. Our friend Delia was terrified of that, but it wasn't so bad getting in. And once she was in, she was absolutely surprised to see how amazing it was inside, but it was cramped. Everything was full of people, full of life, full of supplies and goods, full of stores. It was amazing. They were Quonset hut style. It was insulated and extraordinarily warm. Think of it rather like a college or a dorm. You walked in and there was a great hallway. Down the hallway, room after room after room. Each room went out protected into a different type of Quonset hut. And from there you could see nothing but walls. There were no windows to look out into that cold, icy world. You'd lose too much heat. It was like being in a great big damn basement with a bunch of happy lights. Everything was bright light. Because if not, you could go mad there in the dark. They've already had people that have had cabin fever. One man raped and killed a woman. Right there. 2 research assistants. Horrible. Delia was shown her room immediately. It was about 8 feet by 6 feet. It looked more like a prison cell. She put her bags down. She had 3 or 4 different items in all of her heavy-duty clothing. She laid it all down in her room the best that she could. She went out into the mess and she met all the other people after she went through all of her bags of stuff. She weighed her clothing. It weighed 28 pounds, if you can believe that. 28 pounds of clothing to walk less than 150 feet. What would tomorrow bring? She sat down with her professor, Dr. Johnson, a short time later, and he told her that she needed to get some shack time. Tomorrow they'd be going out and that stuff. She couldn't believe that. What do you mean? Delia said. We're going out? Yes, Delia, you'll be going out in that, but not for long. We'll be in a buggy, a tundra buggy, essentially. We'll be going to a remote location that's already has a Quonset hut there. The government, that's why they're here. They found something, and we are going to investigate it, Delia. You cannot talk about this. Your non-disclosure agreement holds you to that confidentiality. If you were to mess up here, the government would put you in prison without a shadow of a doubt, or worse. She went to bed, and before she knew it, it was time to get up and get going. It was dark, always dark, cold. She was in a vehicle inside of a garage, so they opened up the door. The garage opened the door, and the vehicle went out into a blizzard. It's hard to explain what it's like there unless you've been. Imagine Mars with a storm, or the moon with snow. So alien, so remote, so terrifying. You're afraid that you're going to drop down into a giant crevasse. Nobody will ever find your body. You're afraid that the vehicle will die and you'll freeze to death. There's a million fears in such an environment. The inside of the vehicle that she's in is cramped. It feels like a coffin in there with everybody. It's warm. Their bodies sweating. It smells horrible. There's 6 people in this buggy. You can imagine essentially a Jeep with tires like a monster truck, more like a Sherpa than anything. It has just enough room for them and their equipment. They won't be going too far, they said. Just a 2.5-hour drive. 2.5 hours in this! It took 3, but they arrived on site. And what she saw, she will never forget. There was a Quonset hut set up, and Delia had to once again brave the elements to run inside, but she expected once she got inside to be in another cramped room. She opened up the door. "Oh my God!" She yelled out to her embarrassment. Everybody turned. More than one person laughed. "Shut the door," somebody said, and Delia did. She came inside, but there was a set of stairs, and she could see the underworld below, and she nearly shit solid gold. Sorry. I'm testing the new parameters of my new place. I said a bad word. Hey, Raccoon, I see you, friend. It's so glad to see you. We're going to take just a little bit of a break with that. We're getting ready to show you something amazing that she did not expect. But in the meantime, you see that, Amy Long, you got it. Eric Poole, I love you guys. I want to see my friends here. There's 49 friends. There was as many as 60. I cannot believe it. I'm so happy that you're here. If you're new to this, say hello, stick around. We have an amazing family. These people will welcome you. We'd love to have you. We're going to grow. We're going to make this into something that you've never seen. I promise you that. If you just stick around, we're going to make this into something you have never seen. But for now, I'm so glad that you're here. You have made me so happy just being here tonight with us. So good to have our family. And we're going to continue in just a second, but let me read some names. You changed your name to Meemaw. Thank God. Your daughter and oh, that's so great. Meemaw, you hear that? Shelly Belly. Meemaw changed her name to Meemaw and put her daughter and her picture in it. Rich Dennis, you can do super chats. I don't know what that is, but Rich, you're going to help me along with this. Kevin Stone, yo, buddy. Lady Sabbath, Creech Love, I love it. I love the pink poop. I know I love those, Deli. I'm so happy we still have our story time because you're here. That's why we have story time, because of our friends. So you guys be thinking of inviting in some fresh victims. We all know some old folks that have been on YouTube and been on Facebook and stuff that would never ever go on TikTok, right? So we got a whole new group of people. Everybody goes on YouTube, everybody, so you guys be inviting your friends and family. We'll keep it fairly PG. You might hear SHIT, some things like that in this story, but nothing too bad. And we're still going to keep I can just use real words here. It's not made for children, so I can use words that we use in the real world, even words that don't have nice, I'm so used to using words like grape. When I start doing stories about serial killers, it's very hard for me as a content creator to use kindergarten terms. So we are going to go back to using adult terminology here. And it's good to know that we have it set for adults, I know a lot of people like to have their kids come in and listen. It'll still be a family friendly enough that you can do that. We're not going to be going 50 Shades of Grey. We'll still do 35 Shades of Grey, and we'll still do PG-14 maybe. Sometimes, rare times, late at night, Halloween things. I'll put content warnings out. We'll do some real scary stuff, but you guys will have options, and I'm going to let you know. I'm not going to be the shock content creator that says, "Oh, do something like that." I won't do that to you. So things aren't going to change, other than the fact that we still have our moderators. We're still going to have a whole lot of fun. And we're going to make this something. So you see that I have it out here tonight. I don't have it in our room for a reason. I'm going to get that room to the 9 here in the future. We're going to get it set up to where we can have it all to where we like it in there and it's comfortable and all the things that we like. So I'm really excited about being able to have votes and real-time votes and things that you can see on the TV. That'll be really cool. So thank you for being here, Omeganaut. I'm so glad to see you there in blue. Big in blue. Oh, you're amazing. Hey, Wordy. All right, let's see. Amy Long, you're the best. Absolutely, Eric. This is a great new chapter for Creech. Omeganaut, we're going to have so much fun. Jen, I'm so glad you're here. Look at that. Another TikTok refugee and familia. I'm so glad. Raccoon Refuge is tapping hearts and anything, do anything here. I think so. We're going to have to figure it out before I tap the screen. And it did show likes, but it's not doing it now. So I think Rich said something about I need to do a super chat, or I don't know how that works. But I do know, can anybody, and you don't have to give a dadgum thing, but can anybody tell me if there was a gifting thing on, but I think maybe I have to set something up for that. But maybe Shelly can help me figure that out. I don't know if she's.
In the super chat, both the creator and the YouTube supposedly received payment.
So super chat, we might try to do that. I must have done it wrong when I set this up, which fine. You don't have to. We do have our little giving things. If you enjoy the stories and you wanted to contribute, now more than ever, it'd be great because TikTok froze all of our whatever we had in there. So all of my subscriptions, all of what we had from our last few lives, all of that. So. Not good. So hopefully I'll figure out Super Chat. And this is always going to be free, 100% like PBS. We do have a Patreon set up, and I have a podcast over there. One of the greatest things you could do would be to go over and subscribe to my podcast and listen to that. We're going to have more podcasts over there. It's only $2.99. We had it set at $10 at first, but we didn't know any better, so we dropped it to $2.99. We'd like to have that free too if we could do it. And we're going to have free ones over on Spotify. But if you do enjoy this, I'm making a commitment to you now. We're going to be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Every night, you'll get me at 9 o'clock. We're going to have our story time, and it's going to be fun. And we'd love to have you join with us. The greatest thing you can do is just subscribe and maybe see one of my videos and pass it along or like it, because I'm going to put a lot of videos over here for you guys. All right. Without further ado, let's get to it. Delia did not expect what she saw. How could you? She looked down into a cavern, a massive cavern, and it was full of crystals, all different colors. They were glowing. She didn't understand what she was looking at, to be honest. At first, she thought that it was a trick of light, that they had set up magnesium lights down there, but no, the lights themselves were glowing. They were crystals creating light. It looked like the aurora borealis more than anything. Green and blues, fading to purples. It was a shimmery light, but she saw growing things, trees. Some of the trees were so tall that they were nearly coming up to the inside of the Quonset hut. She was so shocked that she nearly stumbled after she cried out. Dr. Johnson laughed. He had already been in on it. He knew what to expect down there. Something flew then, flapping near her ear. She slapped at it. Without hesitation, it was a reflex, thinking that it was some biting thing, but it wasn't. It was some form of moth, a beautiful moth, as beautiful as any butterfly that I've ever seen in my entire life. Its wings were blue with strips of crimson, glowing red. It flipped and it fluttered. When she swatted at it, it cut her finger and she cried in surprise. Ow! Those are called glass flies, and I wouldn't swat those. They're sharp as crystal because that's what their wings are made of, a crystal lattice, Dr. Johnson said. You're right. My goodness. She looked down. Sure enough, her finger had been cut open, and Delia sucked at the blood, seeing that it wasn't too bad. What is going on here, Dr. Johnson? Delia said. They found something about a year ago. A crevasse opened up while they were traveling. The vehicle fell down the crevasse and everybody inside died, but the camera inside saw this hidden world. You have to see the rest, Dr. Johnson said. They traveled down the steps that had been placed there by us, and they entered into a world unlike any world you and I have ever seen. An alien place. It would seem alien to us because everything there had evolved isolated. not just for thousands of years, billions of years. Some folks don't believe in the processes of evolution. Will say they mutated there, beneficially mutated away from everything else. The entire ecosystem. They started off as extremophiles, creatures that could live in the subarctic conditions with blood full of anticoagulants, antifreeze, if you will. But everything there evolved around one key feature, the warmth of the earth. This whole area is geothermic, he said. They traveled down about 100 steps and they came to the most massive chamber that anybody would have ever seen on the planet. Larger than the one in China, the Hangzhou. So big that it was like being in a football stadium. "Oh my gosh!" she yelled, her voice echoing. Every square inch of it was covered in every imaginable growing and creeping vine that you could imagine. Green, blue, purples, colors that we don't even see on the surface world. And things were flying and buzzing. Not birds, but things like birds. Not bats, but things like bats. She looked down and she saw water. And she saw life, vibrant life everywhere. It's not all, Dr. Johnson said. There's sentient life here as well. We're learning about it now. Follow me and keep your distance, he said. That was when they first saw the armed men, military. It was United States military. They had their weapons with them. Machine guns, pistols, rocket launchers, flamethrowers, most of them. And every team had flamethrowers, and they soon learned why. We don't have a name for them yet. The GIs call them fungus men, or fun guys. They get a laugh, but these are no jokes, he said, pointing at one. As long as we stay away from them, and we don't bother them, they won't bother us. But if you hurt one or harm one of their children, they can be savage. They looked on in wonder. Delia could not believe what she was seeing. They were shaped rather like tall, shaggy people. If you've ever seen some of those strange mushrooms with appearing feathers on their back, the dryads or the pheasant-back mushrooms, they looked like that, large, with limbs like tree trunks or the stalk of a mushroom. But their heads were shaped like fungi, like the cap of a toadstool. There were no faces, so to speak, but there was something like a mouth. They would stop periodically to grab something off of the ground or the wall and shove it into their faces. They were feeding on algae or something like it. It was unbelievable. They looked stunned as below them something wriggled. It was one of the young. It was attached to the parent. It was like a feeler from a cordyceps mushroom. Just steer clear of them. They are intelligent. They do not have a culture, so to speak, but they are not simple animals. And there are more. Mr. Johnson, her professor for years, walked with her and showed her wonder after wonder. But there was a reason that she had been called in. It was her expertise. She worked with one thing in particular. One thing had been her sole focus and the reason that he had chose her. Can anybody here name an extremophile? One of the most extreme critters on planet Earth. I know you know the name. Somebody here in our chat, let me know. Raccoon, is it Jen? Would it be Omega Naught? Somebody tell me. One of the most extreme critters on planet Earth. There. Let's see. Delia, would you know the name of it? Eric Poole? I bet you one of our friends here. I have 75 likes. You guys are absolutely amazing. And we'll try to figure out that super chat before long. I'm just looking for you to name any that you guys know. Anything? Think of a very small... Your cats! Cockroach. Oh, there's one. She studied a few different organisms. The cockroach was one of those things. The little bear thingies, the tardigrade. Is it computer? No. The tardigrade. That's right. The little bear thingies. Moss Piglets. She studied the tardigrade, and she soon learned why that was important. She walked in a pure white lab, and the assistants were working on something. She walked in to look down some fungal specimen they had. She heard something, though. Off to her left, it sounded like a small dog scampering across the floor. "Oh my God! Is that what I think it is?" Delia said. "It is," Dr. Johnson said. "Pick it up. It's very friendly. It's their pets." She couldn't believe it, but she was looking at a tardigrade the size of a Dachshund puppy. It was the cutest thing she had ever seen in her entire adult life. You mean I can actually pick that up? I can pick him up?" she said. "Absolutely. Here, I'll show you." The small tardigrade, wriggling around on many feet. It was about the size of a Dachshund, about this big around. Its small, chubby, cute body, green, a light green and army green and olive green all together, giving it a form of camouflage. But its strange little face, it looked like it was wearing a gas mask with cute little eyes. And it wriggled up rather like that fat little worm from those children's movies. What were they? A Bug's Life. She laughed and then nearly cried when she picked it up. It wriggled around, attempting to get its nose on her face. It was breathing in and out like Cubert, making a strange little honking noise. And they're extraordinarily intelligent. Say something to it. She said, "My name is Delia." And honest to goodness, immediately after, she heard the small, chubby Moss Piglet say, "My name is Delia." They all had a good laugh. She couldn't believe it. "Can I have it?" Delia said. You can. They're all over the place down here. They communicate with one another. If you're mean to one, they'll all know about it. Believe it or not, they can be dangerous. You'll have to feed it algae if you take care of them. They're wonderful guard dogs. We call them guard piggies around here, or moss guards. Delia got to know the small little moss piglet. What's the name of it anyway, Finding My Own Path? Can anybody name the small little critter for me? Delia, what would you name it? I guess it's yours anyway. What did you name it, by the way? Delia named her moss piglet a super piggy. She took it back to her accommodation, where they promptly began to get to know each other. Let's see, you got a name? What do you think, Bombshell? I see those hearts. You guys are amazing here. You are. Hey, Cutlass! You can send hearts on the right. Are you serious? We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out a super chat. We'll do that one next. But tonight, I'm just so happy. We have 52 friends. I told you guys that I'd cry if I saw 10 of you. I've already cried, Cutlass. But to see you here, I got to get you set up, too. I got to get you set up. And let's see. Give me just a second. You also are now a managing moderator. Hey, Cutlass. Hey, sis. You guys give me a second. I got to ask Shelly something. All right. I had to go sneak something over to Shelly. We still got look at our little Wolverine. All right. I'm so happy to see you guys. It's just unbelievable. And let's see. I'm going to read for that name. Did you find a name for your little moss piggy? Hey, Creech, are you live? Hey, Terry, I am live. I know it's weird here. Sometimes it says live and it's not really live. Emmy, I'm so glad you're here. Emmy. All right, anybody name the moss piggy's name is Albert. I love it. She named it Albert, even though they are hermaphroditic. Isn't that neat? Very interesting little critter. To have a new one, all you need to do is cut yours in half. Albert's been cut in half 6 times already, and he's created 6 new offspring. They're all called Albert, by the way. Each and every one in the entire building is called Albert. Some people rename theirs, but Albert was the genesis. It was the very first one. She soon found that out. She would cut Albert in half many times and create many little progeny. They're an extraordinarily extreme animal. That's the neatest thing about them. They'd be great for the pet trade. All you have to do is slice one off like a piece of white bread, and you'll create a brand new one in 6 months. First, it starts off like a fat little cellular blob, and then you'll see little defining features like a tadpole's tail, like a little pollywog. They just start kind of growing. They just wriggle around and roll around for the first few months, but then you got yourself your own little moss piglet. Introducing at PetSmart, the newest craze, Moss Piglets. You can create your own, kids. Get your butcher knives. Yeah. All right. Delia, I hope you enjoyed your story. That was our very first ever Creature Preacher Storytime story here on Uncle YouTube. Thank you, Uncle YouTube. Thank you, Shelly. She's clapping. Thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know you enjoyed it. Yeah, TikTok got shut down and got canned, but I think it'll be back. So keep your hopes up. Keep your hopes up. But I'm extraordinarily happy that we're here. Thank you, Omega Naut. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Finding My Own Path. Thanks for having me be a part of it. Not just a part, Delia, the very first part. Thank you, Omega Naut, my moderators here. I cannot believe it. I'm so happy. So happy you're here. I am. I really am. I'm going to take the time to read comments for a little bit and get some water.
I'll get you some.
I got it right there, baby girl. And Shirley set this nice board up. We will set up something, I believe that Uncle YouTube is set up to where you can gift, and I've been told that we'll actually get more over here if you did choose to gift for us, but I don't know how to set that up right now. But we do have a link tree where you can follow me on my other social media platforms. I'm going to be making you a lot of content here. If TikTok does not come back, I'm going to be making a lot of content no matter what. I'm going to be making a lot of content here on YouTube Shorts and on our long form. I want to tell you about our adventures. If you guys will give me just a few minutes, and then we're going to hop into another story. But I'd like to read the chat. Selma, family reunion is right. Fran, I'm so happy we got Fran set up. It just makes me so happy to see that. But we're going to go on our first long-form adventure here too soon. We've had so many things fall through on Uncle TikTok. I was going to ride you on a bike across the state. As soon as I got the bike, we're still paying on that bike. That's the only reason we got it, to ride you across the state. I rode it twice, and Uncle TikTok banned me. I couldn't ride it anymore. So I'm paying $60 a month on a bike that I love, but it was meant to save animals. It was meant to take us across. I can do that. And I can do other stuff. So the very first thing that we're going to do, we're going to go over to one of the islands. We're going to have a camp out. We're going to do fire, some bushcraft. I'm going to film it. We're going to try to do it on a weekend where she can use the good camera to film this. I've always loved the long form content where you go out, you camp, you do some bushcraft, you tell some stories around the fire. And we're going to get to do that. And we're going to have you guys be a part of it. So Monday through Friday, we're going to be here for story time. But every Saturday and Sunday, we're going to take you on special adventures and show you our appreciation, the same way we did over on Uncle TikTok. But here, we won't have many of the restrictions. So we could, if I wanted to, we could go kayaking right now. I could take you on the bike, and I could take you for a lovely ride and have some fun. And we're planning on doing those things again. So my creativity has always been there. It's just been harnessed over on Uncle TikTok. I've not been able to handle animals. I'll take you back to the Everglades. I'll start handling snakes and putting that content up again. And I just hope that you'll follow us here, that you'll share wherever you find us, that you'll come in and be a part of our family. If you're new to this, if you've never been to my story time, would you please be a squeaking wheel and let us know? My moderators are here to help show you around. This is a safe place. We're not going to start arguing politics and religion. And as long as people come in and they're nice, they're a part of the family. There's no buy-in. You don't have to pay to be here. But we do have ways that you can give. If you enjoy the story time, think of it like a busker. If you enjoy their music on the road, throw a few coins in their bucket. So I'm going to get out of the way and show you the way that you can do that, because my lovely wife set it up. For just a minute, I'm going to read the chat. I'm going to set it up to where you can see that. And I'm going to read chat and say hello to our friends. Can you read that? It's backwards, isn't it?
No, it's fine.
Why is it backwards on mine? Can you look at it? It's backwards on mine, Shelbel.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Let me see yours then. That's so weird. Well, on mine, it's backwards, so I can never tell. Oh, extreme close-up. Hideous. All right, so I'm going to do that and read the chat. Delia, it's not backwards. Thank you, friend. You can read it. I'm so glad. And again, that doesn't mean you have to give a daggum thing. It's just there for a second while I read these. Toaster Johnny, thank you so much, buddy. Hey, John, Emmy, you're absolutely amazing. The camping tour, you guys are gonna have fun with that. We're gonna go out, and now that's enough of that. You guys are smart. You know how to screen capture and stuff. If you did want to help, I don't need to. Hey, look at this. There's our commercial break. All right, I hate commercial breaks. I hate that stuff, but. Yeah, it's going to be fun. But I want to tell you what we might be able to do tonight, this type of thing. Once we figure out the liking and we have some of those little goals that we used to set up, what we'll do is at the end of the night, since we'll do it anyway, we'll go for a bike ride. We'll go down, explore those creepy woods. I could go right now if we want to. We could hook up. I could set you up on the bike. I got it all charged up. We can go down and explore creepy woods. We could go out and kayak. I could take you down to the dock and we can hang out. And I think that at some point I would like to check the reception down there to see what it's like with Uncle YouTube and see if there's a different experience. And so we got the kayak set up right now. So if the weather was good, we could just go over to the island and check out, look for that bear. In the summer, I'll go over looking for snakes on the other shore of the coast. There's some big rattlesnakes over there. So all of those adventures, you guys are welcome to go on down. And I've got, hold on a second, Fran, you just have no idea how you've helped equip us for this new chapter of our life. Hold on. Our friends have been so amazing, helped equip all this. I hope that Scott comes in. I'll be right back, guys. I just wandered away to actually have a point to show you something if I can find it. But I can't find it right now.
In the meantime, check out the oatmeal raisin cookies I'm baking.
Oh, yes! You guys haven't got your dose of Shelly tonight, Shelly. They haven't got their Shelly dose. So we have a few items that we're setting up right now for kayak, for bike, and all that stuff so we can take you guys on adventures. Our friend Fran sent this some time ago. It's called a Ho-Hem Joy. This, Fran, you have no idea how you helped to equip us for this journey. You know, this was going to be trying to get this on the bike a long time ago, but this will be used to film a lot of what we're doing and keep it steady for you guys. So we're going to have some fun. But we're going to take you over to the island. And this other thing. Dun 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 dun! So, this will help with a lot of adventuring as well. So, we're going to have some cool stuff. But what would you guys like to do tonight? I'm up for some fun. We can go for a bike ride. We can go for a walk. We can do all kinds. We can go explore the water down there. We can do whatever you guys want. That's what I'm looking forward to. Wolf King! Oh no, I'm mad my Lions team lost. You're going to help me calm down with your stories. I love it! Wolf! Well, there you are, Wolf. Howl at the moon, brother. Sundog's here! Yeah, we're going to be able to do that. We could go and start a fire tonight if we want. We could do that kind of stuff. So how cool is Sundog? The sky's the limit. Wait, hold on.
Yes.
Yeah? Mima! Oh, I just got the greatest news of the night. Guys, I have something very, very special to show you. Where are you? All right. Where's our Mima? For the very first time, I would like to introduce our very own Mima as a managing moderator. Dun da 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 da. Mima is here. You better be careful. There's a new sheriff in town. Hey! Yeah! That's awesome. Welcome, Mima. That just makes me so happy. I'll tell you what, Mima is the bee's knees. Hope I got it right. Holy cow! Delia, thank you so much. Thank you, Delia. So soon we'll be able to put that on if you wanted to. You'd be able to see that. You know, it's only for the people that want to. And if they wanted to say something with it, we're going to set it up to where, Delia's so kind of you to send that over. But we're going to set it up to where people, if they send something over and they wanted to attach a message to it, that it'll read it out loud. I saw them do that on some guy's live stream, and they'd say really foul things. You don't have to do that, but they would say, here's $1.50 to continue being a stupid son of a, you know, it's like, but, you know, I'm sure you guys wouldn't be that cruel or anything, but we're going to have it set up. So Shelly's helping me figure out a call-in, because we're going to have you guys call into the program. We're going to tell stories. Let's say we talked about Antarctica, and you have visited there, and you wanted to tell me about that. We'll be able to let you call in, talk about that. If we're talking about aliens and you've had an alien experience, I'll say, you know, it'll be fun. It'll be a little call-in program. It'll be really, really neat. And I'm excited for the first time I'll get to hear some of your voices and get to hear some of your stories and the things that you might have wanted to tell me for years. You might hear me tell Bigfoot stories over on TikTok for years, and now for the first time you'll be able to go, Creech! Oh my God, I could tell you what happened to me when I was 12 years old, when Bigfoot touched my hiney, and I didn't like it very much. He grabbed my ass. I said no. He did it anyway. He smelled really bad too. And he had big hands and big feet. It hurt. Yeah. So, you know, somebody told me one time that they got sexually harassed by Bigfoot. True story. Yeah. They were out in the woods. A woman had went to use the restroom and bathe in a stream. She turned around and there was a pervert watching her. A very large, hairy pervert. No, not your ex-husband. Whoever you're like, that sounds like my ex-husband. Not your ex-husband. Bigfoot. There was a Bigfoot over there watching her doing the, oh yeah. You know, do you imagine that, ladies? You're over there. Did you hear about the 4 lynx that were dumped? Oh my gosh, lady, that is freaking awesome. Lady Sabbath, I am so happy you're here. Lady is all the way. She's in Scotland, and she just said there's 4 lynx that were dumped. My favorite critters, man. I'll tell you what, if you could get your hand, I love all animals are my favorite, but if you could get your hands on one of those lynx, I'll tell you, they're just a great big old house cat. I'll be right back. I'll show you something. You guys have seen it already. But... Oh, back. Hold on a minute. Hold on, friends. I'm a coming. Ew. All right. Lynx. Has anybody ever got to see a lynx? They're like a bobcat. There's a few different species of lynx around the world. There's some that are very, very endangered, like the Iberian. Guys, if you don't know me, I'm a zoologist, and I'm going to start showing you. I'm actually going to do a nice, fun introductory video with all this stuff, some of the things I've got to do. But I'm a zoologist and ecologist, essentially. Went to school for environmental science and then zoology. Love animals, love lynx, love cats, love bobcat, love the whole order, love the small cats. But I'm going to show you a lynx paw. This was a gift from an Alaskan, and it's unbelievable when you see the size of it. This is a lynx from Alaska, and it's not a huge one. It's about a regular size one, and I'd much rather see this on a living cat, by the way. But it was given as a gift, and there were 4 of them. But if that gives you any idea of the size, the first one that I saw in the wild was with Shelly. And Shelly, you remember that?
Yeah,
I looked over at the side.
Her
Her first time seeing one there in the wild, but we looked over in Alaska on the Alaskan highway, and I go, oh my God, a lynx. When I tell you that it was the size of a Dalmatian dog, I'm not exaggerating one bit. It was so tall that it would have come up to maybe here on me. And with those great big paws, it was the most beautiful. I was absolutely overwhelmed and impressed with it. They can contend with wolves, bear. They even can put up a good fight for a mountain lion if they had to. They're spit fire in a cat. They can get upwards of 50 pounds, 60 pounds, even in extraordinary cases. But ordinarily, they're not quite so large. But the farther north you go, the bigger they get. And a 60, 70-pound lynx would be, you guys have no idea. You might as well be attacked by a lion at that size. But I got to tell you this, if you've ever worked with one, big paws is right about the size of my hand. If you've ever worked with a lynx, and I have got to work with them in captivity and bobcat. In fact, I'll show you some video. I'm going to start putting up those videos of Quiet Chobi. I've got some video of me playing with bobcats, and the bobcat's paw is much smaller, but look at the size of my hand. I have a big hand too. You know, it's not small. Look at that, man. That's crazy. So, if you've ever raised one or got to work with one, they are just like a big house cat, I promise you. The same thing your house cat does, the lynx does. And if you were to own one as a pet, and some people do own them as pets, and they're tremendous. It's so strange to me, and this kind of bothers me too, because people keep caracals as pets. People keep these cats as pets, right? Have you seen a caracal or a serval? A serval is an African cat about the size of a lynx. A caracal is another African cat about the size of the lynx. They're in the same family, essentially, you know, they're in a similar family to bobcat, the caracal, and the African golden cat, and there's other cats like that you can keep as a pet in captivity in the United States. But the greatest one of them all is the lynx to keep as a pet. And I don't recommend, I'm not saying that I think that everybody in the world, I mean, there's very few people that I think would be even suitable to have one as a pet. But if you've kept cats your whole life, if you are a cat lady or a cat guy, let me know in the comments. I love cats. I'm a freaking cat dude. If I could have cats, Shelly's not so much. She likes kitties, but doesn't want one in the house. I'd have cats. I love them. They just show I love cats. But I wouldn't have a regular cat. If I had my way, this is what I would get. And honestly, right now, if I had the money and we were able to, I would get a cat like this. You know, maybe not this, but maybe I'd try for an African golden cat or something. I really would. I just love cats. But the lynx that I've worked with, they purr, they'll get up and they'll paw at you, they'll knead, they'll love on you, they'll rub against you. And they're just like a kitty cat, though, the way that they play, the way that they do everything. But the only difference is, it's like the difference between owning a Chihuahua and a Pit Bull Terrier. That's the only difference. You know, Chihuahuas are sometimes more temperamental than a pit bull, but they can't do anything to you. So when you have a 60, 70, and in captivity, you'll have 100-pound lynx, no problem. If they let me, I've always said this, and I'm not trying to be, oh, I'm better than it. But if I had all the money and they gave me lynx to domesticate, you give me 5 short years and I'll have the sweetest, most domesticated lynx you could ever possibly imagine. And you would have 100-pound house cats. I promise, I'm not even exaggerating. You would have 100-pound house cats. People would have this whole new like thing open, this whole new door open for them, protection cats. You know what I mean? Like they get massive, the size of a dog, and in captivity with good feeding and good heavy high protein diet, they put on a lot of weight quickly. And these people have these 90, 100-pound animals that aren't really overweight. They're just massive animals. They're so crazy. But yeah, I would, if I could, I'd have some kitties. I don't think Shelly would like that, but if I had my way, it would be one of those. Like if I was allowed legally, 100%, it would 100% be a lynx. And you guys would fall in freaking love. You would see me raise it, and you'd be like, I have to have one, because they're just absolutely, I'm in love with them. I don't recommend it. You would have to have like, oh boy, you'd have to have a setup. Because bear in mind, they're just like a house cat, just as destructive as a young house cat can be. The males will spray. They can get a little bit aggressive when it comes to sexual maturity. So highly recommend neutering. You know, you'd have to neuter or spay most likely, or they would just absolutely go crazy. No, they wouldn't. They'd be amazing. But I love them. With your regular cat acting, yeah. Could you imagine having a cat that doesn't like your boyfriend? Could you imagine that, Raccoon Refuge? Oh my God. 100-pound cat that's very protective of you ladies, single ladies. You got, a cat maybe a little bit. They attach to you. You know, they are. Bobcat are like that too. Danny and the Golden Duo, hey. Yeah, you and Shelly, you don't want cats in the house? Yeah. Listen, we had one cat. I'm going to tell you the story about it. The reason Shelly doesn't want to have them in the house, I understand. We had one that she jumped on my head. I was taking a nap and I was in the bed and she jumped from like really on high and jumped on my head. I thought somebody threw a book or something at me. So I jumped up like this and just knocked it off me. It was the cat, and it pissed the little kitty off. So as soon as I got out of bed, the cat came back and it peed right in the middle of the spot where I was sleeping. And cats will do, they can be spiteful. I hear people all the time, animal behaviorists and psychologists say no. I could tell you case after case of cats being spiteful, and I'm in for it. I love it. I like it, man. They don't forget, and if you do the same thing to me, you know what I mean? I'll come pee on your bedroll too if you pee on mine. So I like cats. I like their independence. I like the fact they don't give a fluff. They're just like, I'm gonna do whatever I like, you know? Yeah, I love cats. Alex wasn't a cat person. Now he's a cat daddy. Yeah, it's got to be the right cat too. You had a cat, but he was paralyzed. I am so sorry finding my own path. I'm cuddling with your kitty. Yeah, Delia, I love him. Crazy cat lady here. I like it. Clumsy and cursed. We got some cat people. I wish you had some cat emojis you could throw up there for me. Yeah. Look at this, just once again. Just look, and I'll try to show you a claw if I can. Because yes, that's why I'm saying everything's like a pit bull. Having a lynx would be like going from having a Chihuahua to having a Great Dane or something. Look at that guy. Can you imagine that thing sticking in your butt? Ow! The cat gets pissed off and it you know, there's more of these, there's a whole bunch of them on here. Ow! You try to take the cat's cat toy away and he's just, right! 100-pound cat, that thing will take you out. Except if you spray a lynx with a spray bottle, it'll kill you, right, Eric? That's what I was thinking. I was just getting ready to say what Eric said. He said, except if you spray a lynx with a spray bottle, it'll kill you. Yeah, so have you ever seen, I'm sorry, man, but I love watching videos where cats attack people. I don't know why. It's one of my guilty pleasures. It just is. I love videos where I saw a video on Instagram the other day of a group of cats attacking a dog. I've never seen it like this. It was one black dog, looked kind of like a mutt, a mixed dog. He probably was 50, 60 pounds. He was good size. And there were like 4 or 5 orange cats, and one would run and hit the dog, and then the other one would come like a wolf pack. These cats were attacking one after the other. The dog would grab a cat. Not bad, just enough it was like watching something on the Serengeti. I'm going to try to go over to Insta and do that video and like do a narration of it, because it was great. It was great. But I love watching Pinky the cat. Like, have you ever seen the one with Pinky the cat? There's a Pinky. Pinky's going to be available for adoption here and then the cat whines around the guy's leg and he's like, ah, Pinky, no! You ever seen You ever seen that one? Those are great. But imagine a lynx. Imagine 100-pound lynx with that. Pinky's going to take your manhood, buddy. You're going to have no Johnson after that. Pinky's not just going to bite the sack. He's going to investigate it. You know, like, oh, that's no good. Pinky. I want a lynx named Pinky. If I do get a Pinky, if I do get a lynx, I'm going to name him Pinky after that cat. In favor of Pinky the cat, if you've never seen that video, do yourself a favor on YouTube. Go look up Pinky the cat, and Pinky the cat attacks or something. It should take you to this cat, and it's the greatest cat video that you'll see tonight. Pinky will take your Pinky. He will. He'll take it. Hey, Kirsten, you've been working with bobcats for 7 years. Even the wild ones are released. Yeah, right, Kirsten? Kirsten knows. Look at her picture. She's got a cheetah. Yeah, and bobcat are absolutely, I've got to work with her. I'll put some videos up. Felis rufus, the cat, the bobcat. They're really interesting, and they're one of the most successful cats. And in fact, in North America, I'd say that they are. They don't get really large, even a very large bobcat. There have been some 50 pounds or more, even 60 pounds hunters have harvested, and I hate that. I wish they'd kept them making other 60-pound bobbies. But they tend to get bigger. Northern Rangers, they can get to the size of a lynx, and did you know, this is really cool. Kirsten knows this. I know she knows. Every once in a while, this is great, and we're going to tell another story. Maybe tell a bobcat story. But every once in a while, a bobcat will fall in love with a lynx. Yeah, they will. They'll go interspecies, a little interspecies relationship. Shh, don't tell your folks, but they will. A female bobcat will take a mate from the lynx and vice versa, and they create a hybrid cat with the appearance of both. Sometimes they look like a really tall bobcat. Sometimes they look like a really short lynx, but they're blended in some of them. Some of them are hybrids, and they're bigger than both their parents, like a liger, just like a liger, a cross between a tiger and a lion, Some of them get bigger, and some of them get quite a bit bigger. And there are rumors, and there are old stories, and we're going to tell one of those stories right now. In fact, I think this is a good point. Which one of my amazing Meemaw? We haven't had a Meemaw pick yet, and we haven't had a poll, so let's do another poll vote. We're going to hop into another story. How's that sound? The lynx that were dumped didn't look very big. I'd love to get my hands on them. I'll tell you what. It may have been a bobcat, but my dad always called it a lynx. I thought they were both the same. No, they are different. But bob lynx, I like it, Eric. Eric, man, I'm so happy to see you here. Let's see if I can figure out. Hey, moderators, do you think you can figure out the polls? Do you think maybe I could get one of my amazing moderators to figure out a poll? Let's do a who lives or if they live or not poll. Something simple like that. And let me know if you want to have a happy cat story or not. But we're going to tell a story for one of you next. There's nearly 46 of you still here. I cannot believe it. And I am so happy. Next time we come in tomorrow, we'll see if we can't figure out the super chat where you're able to communicate more with me. You'll have likes and things. And maybe even, I think there's even gift in somebody's shirt on that, which would really be great for Shelly and I. I'll tell you. But doesn't matter. Just the fact that you're here tonight is the craziest. Like, I literally cried when I saw about 10 of you roll in. I was like, oh my gosh, and I don't think it's really settled in yet that there's still no more TikTok for me. And I'm sure, I have a feeling it's going to be back. I just don't know what it's going to look like. If we'll have to start from scratch, I don't know. All I know is that they got rid of my account. You can't access it, and they never did really say what they're going to do, so I guess Monday we'll find out. But as of now, everything's frozen. Everything. All of our funding in there is frozen, everything. So any video, anything that came from videos or some of our friends, I'm so sorry. I really do. This made me sick on my stomach to know that some of you, Terry came in and dropped a beautiful gift, of a leopard or something. And can you believe that? You have a cat you rescued, Mateen? Good to see you, and that's the best kind, isn't it? But we're going to tell a story for one of our friends here. Maybe you're a cat person. Let's do it. But if not, I'll try to. Meemaw, I had one cat. Let me see if I can do I don't know if you guys are able to do oh, no, I'm not copying a link. I'm trying to do the poll. I didn't want to highlight it. Mods can't make polls. Okay, thank you, friend. I thought they could, so I guess I got to figure this out. You guys, I did it earlier. Hey, David Fisher. Hey, buddy. Good to see you, David. I think you're the only one. Thank you, Charlie. What do you say, brother? Sabretooth, Jeffrey said. We can do that. I think I can figure it out again. There's a chat filter, top messages, community moderation. I'm going to have to learn this. We're learning together. We're learning together. Wait, there it is. Start a poll. And I got a question and answer thing too, so that'll be good. Well, I got an idea. I'm going to do scary or happy poll. That's good. Hey, I'm glad I'm checking. Give me just a second. I'm old. Happy, happy, joy, joy. All right, the poll is up. You guys choose. If you want a happy story, let me know. If you want a scary story, let me know. The poll is happening now. We've got 2 votes. No, it said 10 votes, 11 votes. Computer, play royalty-free music.
Shuffling songs by royalty-free music on Amazon Music.
I'm going to get some agua. I need to get my musical friends to create me a playlist worthy of Preacher Story Time. No, I got it, baby. Almost there. I feel like we're on a home shopping network. And now for the low, low price of free. It's a royalty-free banger, don't you think? All right. 36 votes. So you guys, if you're new here, let us know too. We're always going to need fresh victim tears, meaning that for every story, whether it's a happy story or a scary story, it's for one of you. You can screen record it, you can put it on your page, you can do whatever, screen capture, I don't know, whatever you like to do with it, it's yours. It's a one and done. Every story that you get here, like Delia's story, any of our friends' story, Crystal's story, you'll never hear the same story twice because you create the stories here. Choose your own adventure. Choose what you like. Vote how you like. If you want a scary story, you vote scary. If you want happy, you vote happy. And that's what you get. We try our very best to give it to you. And if you've got a great idea rattling around, please let me know. Hey, Potato, we got a Potato Master. I like that name too. Tater Master. Hey, cool. So welcome to the family. We'd love to have you join with us. I'm going to start putting down lots of content here. We're going to have story time Monday through Friday every week and then adventures on the weekends. But my name's Creech, the Creature Preacher. My real name's Josh, but I don't really go by that. But I'm just happy that you're here and welcome. We've created a safe place over on TikTok and now we're over this way. And that just means a safe place you can come in and hang out and not have to worry about people being real mean to you. You know. The poll is going. Let's have a look. I got 45 votes. We got 70% scary. It's not looking good. My baddies, they came over there. Hey, we're leaving TikTok. Get your pitchforks, especially the good one. They got their machetes. They got their torches, their rope. They're ready to cause mischief and mayhem. They're the ones that like watching creepy stories and serial killer documentaries. And boy, oh boy, they like it when you get what's coming to you. You've done something to deserve it, they say. And there's nothing they hate more than a goody-goody. The poor goody-goodies over there wearing their pure white, little altar boys. They've got pockets full of Werther's originals, and they're often seen in the streets asking questions like, how can I help you? How can I be of assistance? Would you like a hug? Dadgum goody-goodies. I love them. And we got it. We got 69%. 69% said they wanted scary, so that's what we're getting. Hey, Creech, Kate. All right, let's get rid of that poll so I can see my friends. I want to check in real quick. I'm going to spend the next minute or so seeing who's here. All right, the poll went like this. 69. Oh, 69 said, uh-oh. That's right. Oh, finding my own path, I love it. Listen, I'm visual. I love seeing visual noise. If you guys can put visual noise, bright things up there, I see it, and I'll see your thing. Omega Naught. Howdy, Serena. Let's see who's here. Kate Thomas, I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Mountain Goth Mom, what do you say? Oh, you're going to get my true crime stuff. You watch and see. Now I can talk about serial killers. I can tell you the whole business. Listen, the only reason I stopped telling you the stories I like telling you is they wouldn't let me tell them anymore over there. You like to hear about H.H. Holmes and Ed Gein and Albert Fish and Chilekopaw. If you want to hear all about the nastiest, the most foul, I can take you down that path, but it is a dark and twisted path. If you want to hear about those scary things, though, this is the place, and this is the hour. It's 11 o'clock now. We're getting closer to the witching hour, the dark hour. If you would like a serial killer story, I want you to understand that this serial killer story would be highly rated. It wouldn't be for little ones. Shelly, how do I add this one to it? Shelly, how do I add that song to a new playlist royalty free? Can you help me really quick?
Yeah, do you want me to create one?
Yeah, scary royalty free.
Scary royalty free is what you would call it?
Please. I like this one.
Add this to my scary royalty free playlist.
Would you like to create a new playlist called Scary Royalty Free?
Yes.
I guess I could have tried to do that. I just don't
Scary
know how.
Royalty Free.
Thank you, Shelly. Appreciate it. Mwah.
You're the best.
Oh, you are. All right. Nearly 60 friends. You guys are the bee's knees. If you want a story, put some red hearts in the chat. Mima! She gets to pick around here. She'd rather pick a happy story because she's the lead cheerleader for the happy crew. She's the goody extreme. She's the dealer with the Werther's Originals. I'm just going to come right out and say it. She's made of about 75% candy. She is, and the rest is sweetness and puppy dogs. But she can kick ass if she needs to, as a moderator. She carries a really big stick. And she's led quite the life. We'll tell you about that life here soon. But Mima, I'm just glad you're moderating. That makes me so happy to see you here. Kate, hey, Mountain Goth. Bombshell, I see you, Leslie. Finding my own path. Serena! Jay Smooth, are you kidding me? Jay Smooth said, I need more happy stories today. It's a depressing day. It's why I quit drinking, rarely drink alcohol. You know what, brother? I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad that you spoke up and piped up. If anybody is having any issues, if anybody struggles, you know, we've all been there. I myself have been there. You don't have to suffer in silence around here. That's the reason for community, is that we can help take each other's burdens. We're setting up, Shelly and I right now, to have a Google phone number set up to where you can call in. We're gonna have call-ins, but that is also gonna serve another purpose. If you are in a spot like that, you know, reach out, message me. If anybody out there is hurting, if anybody needs to be connected to help, maybe, or maybe they're struggling with drugs and alcohol or something like that, you know, listen, just reach out and I'll do my very best. And that's something that I've not been able to express as freely over on other platforms, but I want you to know you're not alone. Nobody has to suffer in silence, and you are here for a reason. You're on this planet for a reason. You're one of a kind. We love you. And Jay, I'm just glad you're here because you've been like a brother to me for years, and when I thought of losing you guys, that's why I was crying. It wasn't about anything else. I've met family, and you're part of that family. And if you're here, that means you're part of that family. So please understand that and know that you'll get no judgment here. Doesn't matter where you're from, what you've done, what you look like. I don't care what you smell like. You could be, you know, what you think the worst person on the planet, and you're welcome here. We'll love you the same. All we ask is that you're nice. That's it. That's the buy-in. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about having a number. I'm excited about being able to get to hear your voices. I'm excited about getting you on being able to talk to you. I might add this one to it as well. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think I like this one too. So let's read some more of the chat. I want to say hi. I love all that color. You guys are the best. Mima, Kate. I'm kind of excited to see what the TikTok community is going to do with YouTube. Yeah, right? Yeah. Jay Smooth. Emmy, I'm so glad you're here. Let's see who got picked. Who got it? Did I miss it? Daggum typos. Let's see. What did I see, Fran? What'd you say? You're amazing. Yeah, we got a podcast too. If you guys wanted to help, we're over on Patreon. It's only $2.99. It's like the cup of coffee. And I got a bear attack victim and survivor, the first story, Tyler Johnson, a friend of mine. We're making our other episode now. That's going to be a regular thing. I'm going to be a podcaster, baby. So I'd love to have you support us. We've seen some of you over there already, and I'm so grateful. I think you'll find the podcast pretty interesting for our first freshman attempt. We're going to do better and more. Potato! All right. Thank you for those hearts. We got a lot of hearts there. Did Mima pick and I missed it? Let's have a look-see. Meemaw, those green hearts are a good idea to get Creech's attention. Yeah, I know. I guess we're going to have to figure that out. Let's see. Soon we're going to have a way that you can actually contact right through the computer. It'll be on a screen, so I'll be able to see it. We're setting up some cool stuff. So we won't scroll to see more, Fran. Just report and block are the only options. That's all right. If we get listen, if people come in and they're being ugly, you know, I can get them out too if I need to. But guys, just be nice, that's all. Hey, Jeffrey! What do you say? And soon I'll have my mods will be able to get in touch with me if there's anything that I need to take care of too. They got my phone number and Shelly's if I need it. But I'm watching now to see who it is, Meemaw, so you got my attention. Preacher, what do you say, Willie Brown? Howdy, hey. Meemaw picked Heather Everhart. All right, sorry about that, guys. You guys are the greatest. Let me get you on the board here. Heather! I like that name, Heather Everhart. It sounds like earnest music.
Oh yeah.
Can I add this? How do I add this one to the computer? Add this to my royalty-free scary playlist.
Adding Southern Trouble to your scary royalty-free playlist.
We're testing this out, guys. I want this live to be on YouTube forever for posterity. So we're hoping that all these stories that I tell you that I've lost over the years, that I'll never remember what I told stories on anyway, we're hoping that they'll be here. If you miss a night, don't worry, come back tomorrow. If you miss Monday, you can listen to Mondays and then get Tuesdays. So we're going to be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So the Creature Preacher story time will officially be over here until we sort everything out. And we're going to make it bigger and better than it's ever been. Tonight, I think when we're done, to enjoy myself, I might go for a little ride and take you guys along. I don't know. Or we'll go down and check out the kayak and see what's popping down at the water. We'll just see what's up. Funnily enough, my grandma has a cousin named Diane. Oh, neat. A medic from TT, I think so. Heather, you ready to go? All right, so the question is, how did that vote go? It was a scary story, but what would you guys like? Computer, turn volume down. Your imagination is the only limit. If you want a serial killer story, if you want an alien story, if you want werewolf, vampire, dragon, black-eyed children, skin changer, whatever you can think of, evil djinn, poltergeist, whatever is your scariest thing. Are you terrified of crocodiles or sharks? Oh, I can tell you a hell of a bear story. But it's up to what you like. You have the power here. Soon we're going to have a vote. I can't wait for this. So we've already figured out how to get my computer hooked up to the TV, but we're going to set up, I don't know how to set up a website, a free website where you guys can go over and just have it on another page. You can vote, vote over there, and it'll show up in real time over on the TV behind you. So you'll actually see where I can actually put things up like your pictures and stuff that we want to put up over there, if you wanted it, that kind of stuff. Not your pictures, my pictures. David said gin. I like it. Wish I could go out on a bike ride, but it's like -16. Holy cow, clumsy and cursed. That is cold. I'd still do it. I just really get all, wadded up. I'm going to do that. Jay, Frag, I love you, Jay. It's a sleepy rose, Fraggle. I like it. Hey, Willie Pena. Willie Brown. I see you, Willie Pena. Can we follow people through here, Fran? That's a good question. I sure hope so. I want you guys to all follow each other. We're community now, baby. We need to keep track. So I'm going to start putting some videos out over here on the shorts. Some people like the idea of TikTok short forms. They have shorts here on YouTube that I've been active on. So you might see some shorts you never saw over there. And some that I made just for Uncle TikTok. And I mean Uncle YouTube. So I'm going to start making shorts here. And I put a few long things on, but I didn't edit them. I didn't put music or anything. I just trying it out to put them on. So I am going to be putting a lot more long form, and it's going to look good because we're going to make it specifically for here. And it'll be like me going to work with the tigers. We'll have that as a big, long hour episode. Me taking care of the alligators and the tigers and going to do that, or going to look for snakes in the Everglades, or going to the islands to do what we do, or go bike riding in Navarre like we were today. So all those things will be special long form content specifically for here now that I can do that. And I really hope that you'll enjoy it. It's kind of meant for, going to bed, putting it on before you go to sleep at night or something. And when you have a great big amount of time, it'll have fun stories in it. It'll have adventure and animals, but it's made, specifically for that, for you guys to get comfortable and sit back and enjoy type of stuff. I love that. I follow a couple of those creators where they go camping for the weekend and they make cool contraptions and new tents and the Outdoor Boys type thing. So it'll be very similar to Outdoor Boys. The only difference with me is I talk too much, so I'll talk my way through everything I do, everything I show you when it comes to bushcraft or stories about this and that and all the unique perspective that I might have from years of being a nerd. So let's tell our friend's story, huh? Heather, the question is, what scares you guys? What scary thing? It's got to be something scary, but we'll give you another chance to vote maybe in this one if we can figure it out. Jay Smooth, it appears to be only something us mods can do. We can follow you all, and then you can follow us back. Oh, cool. Mods. So if you see our moderators, we got our mods in blue here tonight. They're good friends. They've been amazing over the years. We are like family. And they'll help you. If you have questions, just look for one of the blue mods and ask one of them too, because when I get going on a story, I'm like story mode. And we're getting ready to tell our story now. Charlie says, I have rode a Harley when there was snow on the ground. Man, you're a better man than I. That scares the Hello Kitty out of me. All right, let's see your ideas. So what scares you? What type of scary story do you want tonight? I need to know. You guys have this is choose your own adventure. Think of this story time like a choose your own adventure. Let me add that to my, can you add that to the playlist? I can't even remember the name of it yet, but I want to add this one. Okay, computer, can you add this to my scary royalty-free playlist?
Adding spooky forest sound effect.
I like that. That's really good. Witches. Oh, that would go good with this story. Computer, restart the song. I mean, with that one. Or witches, dark water, Fran said. Oh, man. You know what? I really like that one. How about we combine things? Oftentimes we do this, Fran. Somebody said witches, Serena said, and Fran said dark water. And I say, why not? I like both of those ideas. In fact, I like all of your ideas all the time, and I could probably just tell stories based on what you all have here. Got to fix that. Hey, Kate, we got to tell YouTube. So I am going to try to never change, preach. Thank you, Kate. I really appreciate that. For a long time, the world's been telling me I need to fit in, but I never have. That's why TikTok and you especially have made me feel so special. Is ordinarily I'm very quiet and introverted, and I shut up because I guess I'm off-putting. A lot of times I can be overwhelming. But you guys enjoy the stories and stuff, myself without having to tone it down, and I appreciate that. I really do. You picked, all right, so let's go ahead and tell the story. That's all we're needing now. Heather was looking forward to her vacation to Maine. She'd never been. Computer, turn volume to 5. Her family had rented a cabin on a lake in Maine. It was meant to be a family reunion. Part of the family they hadn't seen in a great long time. There would be people there that Heather hadn't seen for years. She had looked forward to it for so long. Computer, turn volume to 3. Sorry about that. She had looked forward to it for the whole summer building up to it. And the house, when she got there, was absolutely amazing. It was clapboarded in wood shingles. The roof was tin. It was a great, massive house overlooking a beautiful lake, surrounded, thronged by forest, a hardwood variety forest. There were oak trees, maple, poplar, you name it, not to mention the beautiful green, evergreen pines all over the place. The lake itself was absolutely stunning. The water, though, so dark. It was called Black Lake, but actually it was very dark olive green. But by tricks of light, whenever the shadow passed overhead, it appeared extraordinarily black. But summer was a beautiful time to swim in the lake, and the home overlooking it. When the family began to arrive, carload, van load, after van load of family, after they got all the hellos and hugs out of the way, they went down and they started exploring the lake and the house. The room that she had been given, Heather found, it was old. It felt like it hadn't been furnished since 1950. Even the old trundle bed squeaked and groaned, but the house itself was absolutely wonderful. It appeared to be like a log cabin almost in the inside, with the great central fireplace where some of the family had already went to work and started a fire. It was supposed to be a little chilly in the evenings to get down during the 60s, but during the heat of the day, even the water was a warm 78 degrees. And before long, the children and everybody else was swimming in the lake and having a great time. When Heather walked down to the water, she saw that they had already gotten out a few of the canoes. She thought it would be a fantastic opportunity to get out on the water. So she pulled out one of the canoes. She's experienced, by the way. She didn't feel like she would need a life vest. She left the life vest for the young kids and the people that couldn't swim so good. She hopped in the canoe, an old green wooden canoe with the paint flaking on the sides and white lettering where people had painted their name on it once upon a time. She got in the canoe and she began stroking out towards the center of the lake. You see, above all, Heather really liked to be alone. And this was nature, after all, glorious nature. Whoa! She looked over and saw a bird of prey. It looked like a bald eagle. It was. She couldn't believe it. She watched in fascination as the bald eagle stooped and dove down, hitting the water with an explosive splat. It carried a fish out after a brief struggle. A beautiful fish. It might have been a pike, she thought. She couldn't see from the distance. It flew off into the distance and landed in a tree not far away, and she began paddling in that direction. Some of the children had made their way to the dock, and she heard one of them start up an engine of a small boat. She would have to go farther away. It looked like they were going to go do some fishing. She stroked again and looked over and saw a loon dive down. Ah! The scream. It echoed across the lake, and it scared her so bad she nearly overturned the boat. It was one of the teenagers. They were screaming at the top of their lungs, something like they were hurt or it has me. She didn't think much of it. She thought they were playing horseplay, but she heard the other scream soon after. She turned her canoe just in time to see the child go down. She couldn't tell who it was, one of the cousins. Oh, it was Bobby. Bobby had just come in from college. He was 18 years old, but he looked like he was 12. She paddled as fast as she could. She saw the others jumping into the water, jumping from the dock, all heading in that direction. The black water! By the time she got there, she could hear the mother screaming. He hadn't come up. She didn't hesitate. She was a strong swimmer. She went in with the others. She bumped into a few of the adults, pulling at them. It was so confusing down there. She had to come up for air, Heather did. Once, twice, 3 times she came up for air. And then it was over. She heard somebody say, "It's too late." She saw him. She had never seen somebody die before. She had never seen a body. He was so young. She began to cry, clinging now to the side of the canoe, not even bothering to try to get in. She would float there on the canoe, crying. Ah! She went under the water. She went under the water. She couldn't breathe. She didn't know what was going on. One of the others had her. What was this? Some trick? Some cruel trick? She tried to kick off, kick, whatever it was. She popped to the surface, gasping, groaning for air. Why would you do that? She screamed, looking down, but there was nobody. Everybody was looking at her like she was nuts. Bobby had just died after all. He was being pulled out of the water. They were trying to resuscitate him, but it was no good. His eyes, they were dead eyes. She was shaken and pissed, waiting to see whoever would pop up, but nobody did. She jumped into the canoe, nearly capsizing it, forgetting how to distribute her weight, but she got in. She was like a fish gasping for air, terrified about what had happened. Who had done that? She finally saw one of the other adults. They helped her get the canoe in. She was crying so hard by the time she got to shore that she could barely speak. We've all cried like that. They all did. They were there for a family reunion, that there would be a funeral. They clung to each other in that time, their time of grief. They were supposed to leave, but they would stay here where he had died for the next few days until at least he could be released, they said. Some of the family would stay, the others would leave. Much of the family left that day. It was a somber experience now. Horrifying. The family that remained, our dear friend Heather was one of those. The family that remained had to go in and take care of business, take care of chores, the same way everybody does, even in a tragedy. Heather offered to go to the grocery store, offered to be the one to pick up the things that they needed. She had known him. He was a cousin, but she had only seen him once or twice. She felt horrible for thinking that way, but that was the facts. She went to the store, a small country store. You know the type of grocery stores that we still should have here in the United States that we no longer do. Not the gigantic conglomerate Walmart, but the tiny mom and pop store with the little old lady and the little old man behind the counter. The man with a white apron, always doing something, and the woman sitting behind the counter waiting to cash people out, people that hardly even come in these days, in that small grocery store. The Kinsel place, I think it's called. They go in. Heather went with another cousin and they began shopping. She was just coming around the corner to grab a few items when she bumped into a woman. "I'm so sorry." She looked at the woman and then quickly looked away. The woman was hideous, old, wrinkled. She had to be 100 if she was a day or plus. But it wasn't that made her hideous. It was the way that she looked at Heather. She looked at her with such an evil look, an ugly look, a hate-filled look. "Watch where you're going, you idiot!" the old woman said. "You freaking out-of-towners! Stupid idiot! You bumped into me, nearly knocked me over." "I'm sorry," I said. I didn't mean it." "Ah," the old woman said. And then the old woman turned. "I know you. You're the one that lost the boy the other day to the lake, to the hungry water. I told you what would happen. I told them what would happen if they rented out that house, if they disturbed the peace of the lake, my lake. I told them. I had friends," the old woman said. "You're not welcome here," she said in a growl. The old woman did, brushing past Heather. Heather was so shocked by what the old woman said, she could barely answer back. It wasn't until the old woman left the store that she thought of a million things to say to that old bitchy woman, but they never came out. She did the rest of her shopping, disturbed, thinking about it all, and went back to the house. And put all the food items up, even cooking for the family. Everybody was still in grieving as they planned the funeral of the boy. And after Heather's experience, she had convinced herself, I don't know how, she had convinced herself that she had been caught by nothing more than a branch underwater, and her fear had caused her to panic. She had to think that, when the human mind is confronted with something like that. The only option is to know that we're crazy. She convinced herself that it was nothing but sticks. They often drop their old Christmas trees by the dock just for cover for the fish. So that's what it was. It had to be a branch that shifted. That's all it was. Nothing grabbed me down there, she thought to herself. She went back to the house after cleaning up all the dishes for everybody. Everybody was crying and moping and weeping. It was such a horrible place to be. She had to get out of there. She took one of the walkie-talkies in the house and she told her close family that she was going to go out and go kayaking over to the island or go canoeing to the island. She decided not to take the canoe from earlier. It gave her a creepy vibe looking at it, and she chose instead one of the smaller kayaks Heather did. It was a sit-on-top pedal kayak. She got out on the lake. It was calm. The water is so black. The water is so dark. She remembered what that old lady said. She had plenty of time before the moon came up. She wanted to hear a loon on the lake, the call of a loon. It was something she had heard about once upon a time on some random guy's TikTok. She paddled out into the center of the lake. With every stroke farther from the house, she felt more and more at peace. She got to the side of the lake that she could barely see the house from. There was an island if she just kept paddling. Once she got to the island, there was a small rise where she'd have a beautiful view of the moon. She had a headlamp and another wet, waterproof flashlight and her phone, of course. She'd been outside her whole life. She couldn't get the thought of that old, ugly woman, the vile things that she had said to her. Give me 1 second, friends. Computer, add this to my scary, royalty-free playlist.
Adding that spooky sound effects, Halloween scary playback to your scary royalty-free playlist.
She looked back one last time to see that the house was completely out of sight. She had a strange feeling in her head, a not very good feeling at all. It felt cut off. She suddenly realized that they might not even hear her scream if something went wrong. Why am I thinking like this? She thought to herself. I'm a grown-ass woman. I don't believe in the supernatural. I don't believe in any of this. Bobby drowned, that's it. Nothing grabbed me. She was fighting. She wanted to go back, but she knew if she went back, she would have to live with that the rest of her life. She would have to give in to the small child inside of her, to that visceral fear that we all got over when we were kids. She couldn't live her life like that. She kept paddling. She pulled her kayak up into the island, stepping out into the cold water. She beached the kayak, walking up on the rise. It was a sandy rise at the very top. It was a dune. If you step to the very edge, you might have to be careful. The edge could break away at any moment, so she steered very clear of it. She would sit here and watch the moon get up, and she would conquer her fears. And that is exactly what she did. She sat there, taking deep breaths. It's so beautiful, isn't it? She looks around her. There's still enough light for her to see nothing but beautiful, thick forest to both sides. Behind her, nothing but woods to her back. A small, sandy area, like the beach itself. Around her feet, there's clinging small vegetation, small, stunted trees, their roots holding it all together in most of the places. It's a peaceful place to while away the hours. She looks up at the open lake. There's no homes on the lake here, none at all. It's nothing but forest, blanketed by trees. The sun is going low, and she can finally see the moon coming up. It's getting dark. She won't turn on her headlamp because having the headlamp on ruins her night vision. She settles down in a crossed-legged position. It's rather uncomfortable, so she gets to her knees. Ah! Something pushes her hard from behind. She felt as if she had been hit by a tree. And before she knows it, no! She's going down. The sand beneath her feet gave way. It's a 13, 14-foot drop to the water below. In fact, there used to be a rope swing not far from here. But the way that she's she hits the ground so hard on her stomach and her breast that it knocks the air out of her lungs. She's trying to roll around in the water to see which son of a bitch pushed her. Who was it? One of her family. This was not funny. But the moment she was able to get her bearings, something grabbed her hair from behind and she felt herself pulled down in the water. She fought. She didn't even have time to get a full breath of air when she was taken down. She's down there fighting for her life in that black, cold, dark water. And she has no idea what it is. She's fighting, and then she stops suddenly. She sees something in the dark water. Something. It's a face. And then she fights for her life, trying as hard as she can to get to the surface. The fear of what she saw driving her. No! Oh! She comes up for just a second, and she comes up just long enough to take in a bit of a breath. And then it pulls her back down. Stop it. Computer, stop. She saw its face. Its bloated, drowned face. She saw the woman's hair, and she recognized her. The old woman from the store. Somehow, she recognized her. Her eyes, her face, it wasn't wrinkled any longer. It was young, although bloated and dead. The eyes, fish white. It was like a picture caught in her mind forever. Time seemed to stand still as she was brought back below to fight again. The grip was iron. She fought and she kicked. But soon, she had to breathe. She opened up her mouth to breathe in air and pulled in the dark, cold water. She thought that it would feel cold, but it was hot, hot, like fire, burning, pain. And then it was over. She floated to the surface, reflexively breathing. She was pulled down again. Every time she came up, she struggled less and less. It was as if she was being baptized down over and over again and brought to the surface. She saw the moon. It was all she could see then, the moon. There was no pain, friends. None at all. She watched the moon, and she heard the cry of the loon. It came from her left, between her and the house. She heard the cry of the loon, and then she fell asleep. You voted for it. You asked for the scary story. The witch of the lake claimed another victim that night. It wasn't until the following day that another of her cousins found her there. She was floating in the water with a peaceful expression on her face. The cousin said that it looked as if she was dreaming a happy dream. She was laid to rest with her cousin Bobby, together the two of them. If anybody had paid attention, they might have seen an old, bent-shouldered and crippled woman watching from across the road, watching with a small, horrifying smile on her face. The old witch of the East Lake had struck again, it seems. That house should really never be rented again, in my opinion. Oh, sorry about that. I am sorry. I really am. I'm sorry, Heather. I'm sorry about. I didn't mean that to happen for you like that. I really didn't. Yeah, you drowned in, but it was peaceful in the end. So at least I tried to give you that. You should have stayed out of the water. You should have given into your fear. I would have been a coward. I wouldn't have went in after my first experience. You know, some people might say that you kind of had it coming, but I wouldn't. I feel horrible about it. I wish that we could have let you live. Sorry about that. Witches can be nasty, man. Some witches are good, though. I don't want to give all witches a bad name. I've met a few nice ones. We've had a few stories about some nice ones here, too. The white witches, the white, the healers rather than the destroyers. Do you guys believe in witches? Now, I'm not talking about the type of witches that, dress up like that for Halloween, but, scary witches like the witch trial witches around the world. She gone, yeah. Sorry about that. We'll tell a happy story next. But let's talk witches for just a minute. Can we talk about them? Every culture, every tribe have their witches. It's an interesting concept, and it's a concept as old as mankind. From an ethnology, from just, the ethnology of it, just about every culture has witches. Now, in some way, practitioners of magic, ancient secrets, people that interact with the universe, with powers, there's stories of those from every culture. African cultures, Asian cultures, Native American cultures, everywhere you go. There's a pervasive idea that certain people are able to harness the powers of nature and powers of the universe in a magical way. Now, some of the things that we're capable of now scientifically would seem very, very magic, to some people. But we're talking real nuts and bolts magic, blood magic, scary things, real magic. Everything from hoodoo to African fetishism, magic, all kinds of wild stuff. To this day, I can talk about this stuff here, and it's not a big deal. Right now, there's a real bad epidemic of African witches, and they're fighting. Let me get some water here. This is crazy, but it's true. Right now, and I'm not, in different countries, but in Gabon, in the Congo, right this very minute in the Congo, there are people that are killing and eating infants. And I'm not even exaggerating, for magic, witches. They will sacrifice a child, an innocent baby, a stolen baby during war, and they will sacrifice it to their gods. This is horrible stuff, but it's going on. You don't believe me? Go to Uncle Google and look these things up if you don't believe me. But right this very time, they believe in magic. Their magic belief is so pervasive and perverse in some ways that for them to enter into agreements with these gods and these demons that give them power to win these fights, they have to take innocent human life. That not only that, the hunting different types of people. If you're albino in Africa, in that country, you wouldn't last long. I mean, they're hunting albino people, some of them. This is true. It's not some, weird thing. You can look it up. It's really bad. But they call it corpse medicine or corpse magic, where they take the bodies of people and they use the different body parts of people for different fetishes and different things. They'll wear them. True. It's horrible. It is, Becky. And, I very rarely ever talk about those things, but they're happening right now. And people don't believe that. But right now on this planet, the planet that you and I are sharing, there are people that are doing that. And it's horrible, horrifying. But there have been different types of magic users from time. There have been holistic teachers that have been considered witches that weren't. During the trials and things, anybody that was a little bit different, anybody that didn't worship the same way or look the same way as you was suspect back then. Anybody that didn't toe the same line that you toed. But there have been, and there still are witches to this day of many different varieties, and some of the even religions, that are based on those. If you look into them, they have practices that are very occultic. You get into some of the really interesting, when you start studying those religions and things, some of the rituals. The Aztecs practiced magic, blood magic, and it was a horrifying blood magic that they practiced. And we've all heard of the, Aztec death rituals and things, but people don't realize that millions of people lost their lives to these rituals and those sacrificed. We're not talking just a few, we're talking hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people over time were sacrificed to Aztec magic cults and death gods. And it was business for them. They would march, people after people would get marched up to the top of what was essentially a ziggurat or a temple mound, and they would give them over to the gods, and different gods, but mostly during the fertility season. They believed that if they watered the ground with the blood of their enemies, that the gods would give them a good and fertile increase. And this is all well known and documented, but they are not the only ones. Celtic people offered blood sacrifices. So if you're thinking, well, I never, the Celts did, a lot of people did. Germanic people, some of the Germanic tribes also offered sacrifice. So there were a lot of different tribes of man that did so. And stuff that would cause modern people and our modern sensibilities, even people that have seen war and things, would go, oh my God, no. Crazy. Some of the things people have done to other people. But the fact that they're doing it now is really even more terrifying, that these things still go on to this day. This isn't stuff that I'm talking about that the Aztecs did thousands of years ago. This is stuff that the Mocha or the Inca did. This is stuff that's happening right now on planet Earth. And as long as there's people, bad things are going to happen, because we're the boogeymen. We really kind of are the boogies. Lots of civilizations. You got that right. So, Mike, you're absolutely right. So, just about time. Cannibalism, a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of cannibalism has been practiced by a lot of cultures as well, terrifyingly. That's another thing, another taboo that is absolutely a horrifying taboo, is that people eat other people. And the cannibal warlords and things going on, they are not just sacrificing, they're consuming the babies. So, crazy. And it's not, again, you can look those things up, it's wild. Yep, Celtic witches did things, yeah, right. But I know a lot of people that practice, different types of witchcraft, and I'm not lumping them in with the ones that are eating babies, by the way, or rubbing baby fat on their broomsticks to fly, or anything like that. A lot of the stuff, of course, was the product of, the church. A lot of what they saw in some of the referendums on witches and things, if you study those, and I have read a lot of those referendums, and John Wesley, a lot of what the people taught on witches and some of the bestiaries and things, of course, it was made up. It was, it was all superstition and things. Witches, whether you believe it or not, they weren't flying at night on broomsticks and rubbing babies' fat on those things. That was, some people believe that was fabrication. Some don't. Very scary. And in some countries, the belief is very, very strong. In Haiti, with magic, my goodness. a lot of people just wouldn't really believe how strong the belief is in magic and witchcraft in some places. And I don't know. I've seen videos. I'm going to be real honest with you. Maybe I'll pull one of those videos and do something on it with this on YouTube. But I've seen videos of things that little kids getting yanked by unseen spirits and things, and people interacting with things that I can't so easily go, oh, I don't believe that. It's scary stuff out there. And you've seen a few instances, right, Howlin'? Hey, Howlin', I'm so happy. Guys, your family turned to cannibalism. Listen, Christina, maybe you're part of the Donner family. And there's been a lot of people that have. Doesn't mean you're a Wendigo now. I don't know, though. Cutlass, I hope not. You live in a cold place. You keep the temperature really, really low. I hope you're not a winter spirit in disguise. And there's a lot of different, the Mendigo and the Mank are two that I think. Did you know the Russians have a Wendigo as well? Maybe we're going to tell one more story here. We're going to have a vote, though. Maybe you'll survive the Mank. But I'm going to tell you guys a story. You probably heard it, and I'm going to tell it to you again. It's of a group of Russian scientists that disappeared in the middle of the Siberian wilderness, essentially, on a skiing trip. It's called the Dilatov Pass incident. And it involves something very terrifying to me. It involves the myths and legends of something that supposedly lived in that area that's very similar in some ways to our very own Wendigo, but maybe even more terrifying. The fact is, those young people that died, we have some very unsatisfactory answers of how they died in the Dilatov Pass. Is anybody here familiar with the Dilatov Pass incident? Anybody? Sean? Anybody here? Christina? They're the young Russians that they went out skiing and they never returned, and their campsite, their bodies came back with missing ears and strange slits and it was just a really weird. If not, I'll tell you guys a bit of it if you'd like to hear a little bit. But the Dilatov Pass incident was you were in Prussia during the war. I knew it! I knew it. Prussian aristocrat. Don't whistle is right. Hey, when we're done here, you guys want to go on a bit of adventure with Uncle Creech? We got 65 friends here. I can't believe it. You know that Uncle TikTok, sometimes I wouldn't have 65 friends over there on Uncle Tickety Talk. So this is our very first story time here. Monday through Friday, we're going to be here. So if you are new and you would subscribe tonight, I would love to see that. That would sure just tickle me. It really would to have somebody, a new follower, come in. If you are a new follower, would you please let me know? And don't be silent. Be a squeaking wheel here so we can welcome you in. But I'd love to know. I got to tell our very first story. Was it Crystal got our first story over here? And that just made my night. So I'd love to know if we had a new follower, a subscriber. I guess I call you subscribers. I like that better anywhere. I've always hated the term follower. You're not following me. You subscribe so you can watch me. It's not like you're following me, you know. Hey, me, Mom. All right, so we're gonna tell an adventure. We're gonna have a story here. Michael Ridge? No way! Are you kidding me? Michael, my friend Michael's here. Now, there's another content creator you probably already follow. He's outstanding. Michael, I'm so happy. Family, we got family here. I was so happy. I told my friends, I said, if I get to see 4 or 5 of you the first night, I'm going to be tickled. And boy, oh boy, to see our friends and to see Michael. Michael he's an anomaly. He's an outlier. Quite literally, he's an outlier. He lives outside of society in some ways. He's an outlier of society. But he also has a great, big, amazing message. He wants to teach you self-reliance. He wants you to know that you are capable of so much more. And you're capable of being a great steward. You're capable of living as a part of this planet and taking part in the planet in a healthy way. So you guys go follow Michael Ridge. I can't say enough good about him. Christina here, my moderator, she creates content. I don't know if you make it here, but I need to know who makes content here, because I'm going to start flooding this place with Creature Preacher content like you've never seen. Because I'm excited again. I'm excited again. I don't have any shackles on anymore. I don't have anybody going, no. Don't say that. Don't do that. Don't pick that up. Don't touch that snake. No, we don't have that here. So good to see you. You subbed a while back, Sean. Thank you so much, buddy. Why not whistle? Oh, that's an old Appalachian myth for a couple of reasons, not just Appalachians. There are things that might, Appalachians, there are things that might whistle back. In other words, a mimic, something that would be luring you out into the deep woods to have its way with you in a most unpleasant manner. You know? Give you a real Rogering. We don't want that. So if you're ever out at night and you start whistling, I do it all the time. And one of these nights, I swear something's going to whistle back. It'll most likely be a person, but I'm ready for that, buddy. I'm always prepared. I got my whistle stick here. Where's my whistle? where did I put my whistle stick? Well, anyway, I call it my whistle stick, but I got a whistle stick somewhere too. I got a whistle attached to it, so if something whistles at me, I'll whistle back. They want to escalate. Come over here. You're gonna try to poke me, I'll poke you. No, I'm kidding. It's just a walking stick. That's plastic, by the way. That's a plastic tip. It's not silver inlaid at all. That doesn't have stainless steel and silver and iron or anything like that in it, you know. No, why would I have anything with silver? Spearfinger, oh, Crystal. Have you been with us before? Crystal, are you native? Cherokee? So, Spearfinger is a story of a very terrifying witch, another whistle witch of the Cherokee people. She was the consort of Stonefinger. Stonefinger was a terrifying figure of Cherokee myth and legend. He was kind of like her husband, or her other half. If she was winter, he was summer. But Spearfinger was an old crone that could appear as a young, beautiful princess. And she had a nasty habit. I'm going to tell you what she did, and it's horrifying. She had a bone brush, a beautiful bone brush. Some say it was made of the femur of one of her victims. But she would come into the Cherokee villages at night, and she would ask for food and sustenance, and would take in an old lady. And then she'd begin to tell them old stories and tell them things that showed that she was more than just a regular person. But she would always find a young, beautiful woman to sit next to at the fire. And in the firelight, she would take her own bone brush and she would stroke and she would brush that young lady's hair. And the old stories are told that the young lady would fall asleep there with old Spearfinger as she was talking, the old woman. And when the old woman got up, the young woman would still lay there slumped. And she'd be quite dead. Spearfinger, while she was brushing the young woman's hair, would take her finger, where she had hidden the whole time, and her index finger was a long spear. And she would insert it into the woman's lung, into her heart, and she would kill her there while she was brushing her hair. And some of the stories go that they would find the young lady's body in the morning. They would never know until the morning. They would assume that she had just fallen asleep by the fire, and then everybody else would go away one by one. But in the morning, the old woman would be gone, and the body would be there with one wound underneath her breast where the Spearfinger went in. Now, there are a lot of other myths about Spearfinger, some even worse. Her thing was pregnant women, babies, and young women. And the things that she would do to feed. She's an immortal being. She's some would say, a demon maybe. Eternal. Like the Skinwalkers and the Nagalosh and Vendigo. As long as she feeds on innocence, she'll be out there now. Either in Cherokee country, or who knows where she's gotten off to. Some say the world is full of old things like her. From many different cultures, they still walk and trouble the world of the living. I don't believe it. Computer, add this to my scary royalty-free playlist.
Adding Hot Pursuit to your scary royalty-free playlist.
I'm hoping, guys, I have to go afterwards and watch the whole live to see if we still have, if you can still hear me, because I've been using royalty-free music all night with few interruptions of that. So hopefully it works, because I want you guys to be able to go back. Soon we'll have a more pure, cleaned up story time. We're adding a lot of fun features, and then I'm going to tell another story for you. But we're going to have the room set up to where we have a website to where you can vote in real time, see it on the TV while I'm talking behind me with, I like to have pictures and stuff on the screen, you know, screensaver things. But we'll have all that information of how you can interact with us. This is an interactive storytelling experience. I want you to be able to put on the screen your ideas and us be able to read those ideas and to see each other, to follow each other, all that fun stuff. So thank you so much for being here with us and making our very first story time here so freaking awesome. Should be okay with royalty free. I think so, Kate. Lady Sabbath, you were the best. Let's read some. 69 people, Fraggle. Can you believe that? 70 people. Welcome in one, welcome in all. I'm so glad you're here tonight. This is our very first Creature Preacher Storytime Live. We're going to be here Monday through Friday, if you can believe that. This was just a special little treat. But when we're done, we're going to go out and explore, maybe take a little bit of a trip around the property, go look out and see if there's anything in the water. You know what? I think I got my Speedo on. I might go for a swim on the dock. I got my Speedo on. So I might go for a swim in that dark water. I don't know what you guys think about that. But I'll show you in a minute and see if we want to go down there and go through with it. Maybe I will. I can do what I like, and you can't stop me anymore. So we're very, very blessed where we live now. We live on the water, and I live between Dustin and Fort Walton Beach, somewhere in that neck of the woods. But the water will be a cool, probably less than 69 degrees, probably be about 50 degrees, but no light. But I'll put a light down there in the water. It's full of shark, and there could be the odd alligator, but not this time of the year. But it's absolutely, don't get it wrong, there's shark out there. But we won't be in too long. We'll pop in and pop out. We should be all right. If not, it'll really be an interesting live feed. The very first Shark Attack Live. Just pray for the shark. Trust me, I'll be all right. We'll have some fun. But yeah, I do. You don't believe me? I got the Speedo on. I'm not showing you. I'll get in trouble. We always need a Sam and Dean around here. That's right, Serena. We got you covered. Elizabeth Ramirez, Polar Bear Plunge you're doing. I don't know. If we get 100 people in the room, I might just have to do it. I don't know. We'll see. I think I might wait. We might put a challenge on that. We might have to wait for 100 in the room to do that. That's But we'll go for it. We'll go and check it out here in a minute. We can do that now, or we can tell the story first. It's up to the chat. What would you like? Not going swimming now, but I'll go show you the water now, or we can tell the story now. I'm excited to take you on a field trip and see if we can actually get reception. It doesn't look great from here, the reception, so it might not be great. I'm hoping that Uncle YouTube, usually it's a little bit better on the reception here. But let's tell a story. Mike Weaver, did you see that Mako swam? Wasn't that cool, Mike Weaver? That's going all over the place. Mike Weaver said, did you see that Mako shark that swam into the lake outside Hollywood, Florida? Let's talk about it for just 2 seconds, yeah? I just did a video the other day. Did you know Mako sharks are one of they have killed people? There's a very small and illustrious list of sharks that have killed human beings. You can take it from me. I really am a zoologist, I promise. But, there's very few. The short fin Mako is one of those. And when Mako sharks, that one couldn't do it. He's not quite at the size. But when they get to a certain size, usually large Makos of the short fin variety, once they get to a certain size, they make the shift from things like tuna and wahoo and fish that they eat to large pinnipeds and things. They're large enough to hunt seals, harbor seals, and even sea lions at that size. So they're very much like a streamlined great white shark. When they get very big, they're nothing but a small great white shark that's faster in the water and it's got really wicked teeth. But it's very rare that they kill people, but they have killed people. Some people say 3, some people say 1 documented case. The International Shark Attack File, I believe, says 1 short fin Mako fatality right now as it stands. But that is technically a shark that is dangerous to human, but very, very rarely, because it's usually a pelagic shark, even though when they get bigger that size, they hug the coastline because that's where big mammals are. But usually they're more pelagic, meaning they're usually a shark of the open ocean, kind of like an oceanic white-tip or something, but not quite so much. But this shark, for some reason, has found itself in what they're calling a lake, but it's not a lake, not technically. It's the intercoastal waterway, which this is really cool because most people believe that brackish water like that has a lot of freshwater intrusion, that a short fin Mako could not even make its way in there, but there it is. And it doesn't seem to be doing well. I think it was doing poorly before it found itself in there. But the amount of salinity, most likely, that it's experiencing right now, their kidneys can't handle it. I don't know if you know anything about kidney damage but your kidneys filter out all the toxins like your liver. So that shark's not able to get rid of the salt, not ready to get rid of all those toxins. So it's probably loopy. It's dying, man. It's not going to do well if they don't get it out. But the fact is, Boy, I'm drinking a lot of water. The fact is, they can do and tolerate more than we thought. They can really tolerate a lot more than we thought. I need to swallow some food or something. I don't know what's caught in my throat. Hold on a second. Oh, man. Oh! Shelly made me cookies. Hold on. Good night. I got something stuck in my throat. I had to take a bite of food. You want a bite? I'm gonna eat some more of that. I hope you don't mind. That's really good. But that mako shark is in a intercoastal body of water. So it's intercoastal waterway. There's a harbor attached to it. So it's not really a lake. From what I understand, I could be wrong. But I've been told that it's called a lake, but it's more like an intercoastal body of water. So I don't know. But yeah, I think that helped. I swallowed some air wrong, and I had like this weird little pocket of air that I was like, what in the world is that? I still feel it down there, but it's not as bad. Hey, Mittens. Hey, Mittens. We are here. We've been slinging stories and having fun. But that shark technically could be dangerous to people if it was healthy, but they never, for the most part, they never bother us. It's very rare that one ever attacks a person. And when a short fin mako does attack a person, it's a very large one that's made the shift from eating fish to eating mammals. And they only do that when they hit a certain size. And not all mako sharks, only the short fin mako that we know of. Ugh. There we go. Still got that in there. Hey, Pistachio, is that you? Get out of Dodge. We're going to tell another story. We were talking witches, we're talking sharks. It's what you guys want, but let's do another poll vote. Hold on a second. I'm learning here. I'm learning how to do stuff. So, how did we do the last poll? Scary or happy? That's what we did. Scary or happy? So, I've been told that there's something called a super chat that might look a lot more like TikTok. We're going to try that one Monday or tomorrow during a day or something just to check it out and see. But I've been told one that'll allow different emotes and different emojis and even gifting and things. And it'll allow you to like and build up the likes and it'll help us get into rankings and things. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a difference. So tomorrow, I've been told too, somebody mentioned, I don't know if you saw it, but they said you might be able to see it better. So that would be good. That would be really good. But I hope you see our moderators. Mima is our brand newest moderator over here, and I'm super tickled with that. But we've got to see Fran, Omeganaut, and Fraggle. And seeing Fran, she has been a long-term family member here, and I'm hoping that, every once in a while I'll see all of you come in and hang out. But these lives are going to be on here for you to listen to whenever. So I'm sorry. Hopefully I won't wake you up with my screams, but you're welcome at any time now to come in and watch those. I'm going to be putting out content left and right, so without Uncle TikTok, this is where I'm going to be expressing myself and Instagram. So between those two, I might even make my way over to Facebook. I'm not sure if I'm too happy with them right now, so maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. But I am over on those places, and I definitely like the making the video process over on Insta is fun. We're going to tell another story, and then we're going to go down and see if we can scare ourselves, go down to the water and see what's popping. We've been live for 148 minutes and 18 seconds. Can you believe that? And I'm so glad. Can we at least have one happy? We're going to exercise the happy clause. We need a happy story, don't we? I reckon it's time. So I am going to exercise. If you guys, we do. We had one already, but we need another one. I try not to leave us with something terrifying for the night. So this might be the last one of the night. We just came on to check it out and see if we could even go live and see if we saw any of our friends. And you guys have overwhelmed me tonight. And it's been a really scary time for everybody, And I want to talk about that too, just for a second. But it's been a really scary time. We don't know what's going to happen with the future. For people that love TikTok, we don't know if it's going to be back. It might be, it might not. It might be gone for good. One thing I do know is I don't have access to anything over there. Nothing. Which I don't think any content creators thought that. We love you, Crystal. I don't think any content creator thought that we would just lose it like we lost an account. We thought they would do something, but there was no real way to get any of our funding out. They don't leave you with any way to do it. So anything we had in there for the month, this month, it's gone. So we are literally starting from scratch. So I'm going to be very, very busy. I'm going to be working. I've always worked. I'm going to be working extra hard to provide just so we can come on and do stories at night. So if anybody did want to help, we have different ways. Shelley put them on the board there. And if you go here, I have a link tree. Even here on my YouTube, I have a link tree. And some of our friends have helped in the past and sent charitable donations over. The story time's always going to be free. It's PBS, baby. So stories are brought to you by viewers like you. So thank you for that. You've allowed us to do so much. And we get to do so much, and we've got to change so many lives, my own included. So we hope that you'll continue to join us and be a part of our family here. Hopefully we will have something like gifting again for those that wanted to support us through gifting. But in the meantime, for those that did want to gift another way, they're on the board, and it's only if you wanted to. But they are over there. I don't know if you can read those or if your camera can zoom in. But if you don't mind, I have to hit the little man's room real quick, and I'm going to come back and we're going to tell a happy story. But I want to hear from you. Guys, it might be our last happy story of the night, so whatever you can think of, superpowers, going to the future, going to the past, seeing a loved one, I don't care what it is, the craziest, most happy thing that you can think of, I want you to think it up. And I'm going to be right back. I'm going to make sure I have my water full, and I'm going to hit the head, and I'll be right back. And when we're done tonight, we're going to go down to the dock, and we're going to have a bit of an adventure. So remember that. Just because we're done with that story doesn't mean we won't have another one on the way. Oh, that's better. My wife she's passed out on the Davenport. She's the sweetest thing ever. If you guys don't know Shelley, well, I think she has an account here too, but we're going to start growing her little account too. We're having a lot of the fun behind the scenes, husband and wife stuff. But this is how sweet she is. Christina, the Crafty Homesteader, make sure I follow you there. Can I follow you there? Well, I want to let me follow from there, or does it? I'll figure it out, Christina. How did I not get Christina modded yet? There we are. Thank God. Sorry about that, Christina. It took me forever. Duh. So I got you there too. Look at this though. How sweet she is. See if I can just turn it over. Poor little thing. She's passed out there. She's been so instrumental in getting everything together and helping us. I'm just so grateful that you guys are here tonight. It really means the world to Shelley and I. All right, now we're going to do a happy story, but I want to read your comments. Make a wish, Fraggle, you got it. We can't tap names and follow here yet, so we have to go and search. So I'm going to try the super chat tomorrow. Don't give up on us. Don't give up on it yet. We're going to try super chat. Somebody said, I don't know how to do it, but we'll figure it out. So let's see. The vote went 64 happy. So we're going to have a little bit of scary, but this one somebody's going to live. How's that sound? So, let's see. Tell us a giant story. Yes, I can tell a giant story here. You got that right. I've been thinking about that. You know, I talked with a friend today, and boy, I got myself in trouble over on the other app talking about things. I really did. On the podcast, I'm trying to decide right now whether I am going to unwrap all of that and talk about it all. I honestly, and I know this is going to sound like you just think I'm a makeup conspiracy theorist guy or something, but when I tell you that it could honestly be dangerous for myself and my wife and other people, then, and I'm not exaggerating that at all. So regular old giant stories, but I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be able to tell the story that got me in all the hot water. You know, the Giants of Kandahar story. That it sounds so silly, but I don't know. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad Omega not. I wish we could pin your messages. I think we can do that on the other one. We're going to do scary happy. Absolutely. We're going to do a scary happy story. So the only difference being is somebody's going to live through this one. It might be unexpected, but you're going to encounter something terrifying. The question is, what would it be? I had an idea of doing the mank that I talked about earlier, and I'd really kind of like to do something like that, but it's up to you. Computer, turn volume down. Whatever scary story that you can think of. Computer, skip. I don't like that one as much. I like this one better. But whatever scary thing that you can think of, just bear in mind it's going to be scary with a twist on this one. Let's read the chat. Dragons, werewolves, manx, wendigo, skinwalkers, you name it. Vampires, I already mentioned the old vampire. We did witches, but we're going to do something scary that turns shark. You want a shark attack story that has a happy ending? Actually, you know what? Why don't we do that? We're going to go down when we're done at the water anyway, so we're going to do that. We're absolutely going to. First of all, no cookie left behind. Oh, good. It's got dates and raisins, oatmeal. Oh, open your mouth. Good. Ow. Computer, skip. I like it, but it's using words. They'd be sailing for 3 days aboard the vessel. It was a cruise, but it wasn't a 5-day or a 7-day cruise. It was just a short cruise. Our friend was lucky enough to live all the way in the Keys. They'd be taking a short cruise all the way to Bimini. It seems all the way, but it's only about 120 nautical miles. So they would take their time aboard the vessel. If you've ever been to the Gulf of Mexico at this time of year, it's beautiful. The water can be cold, but you've passed the storm season behind. You don't have to worry about all that. I suppose I need a victim tier, don't I? I'm writing right into the story without a victim. A volunteer victim. Which amazing moderator? Christina, you haven't picked yet, I don't believe. Could you please snatch somebody from our crowd? Maybe there's a new person unique to YouTube, or maybe there's somebody who's never had a story. But if you could grab somebody, I'm sorry that one was on the quick, but I need somebody to hop aboard this vessel, if you don't mind. I got to get used to the whole new chat and everything too. So if you guys want a story, you're going to have to talk with Christina, but you're aboard this vessel and you're getting ready to see what the Gulf of Mexico is like. You haven't even seen your boat yet, but I need one of you, if you don't mind. And I'm going to hydrate while I wait and get the rest of my water full. If you hear me over here, it takes so long. We have a filter on the fridge and it just takes a long time to fill it. It's worth it. I don't have to pay for bottled water or anything, you know, but it takes me like a couple of minutes. It feels like 2 minutes, but I'm on the spectrum of ADHD. I'm very impatient. Hurry up! Gee whiz! Finally! All right, let's see. Poll complete. Let's get rid of that if I can. I don't know why that's still up there. I'm going to read the chat because I know you guys can't pin it yet. Who's new to story time? If you want some green hearts, or put some green hearts up if you want a story. I need somebody that's got some experience with the water. You're going to have to tend to this boat. Make sure you get somebody I'm just teasing. Make sure you get somebody that knows how to rope, though, and tie off a good rope, a bowline hitch at least. If you want a story, fill the screen with green hearts. And guys, until I figure out the super chat, the more noise you can make on the screen, the more excited I get. I like color. I like noise. I like to know you guys are there. It's kind of like clapping when you take part, and I'm so excited for it. But this next story is going to be a scary story with a happy ending. Scary, very, very scary, but it'll have a very cool ending, all right? So you get to survive this one, although it might not look good for you for a little while. So if you got little ones listening, is that Sleek? No way, Mr. Polar Bear, it's Sleek Comics. What do you say, buddy? We're gonna have to figure out how to call all each other. Danny and the Golden Dew, I love that name, man. Sean Cunningham, you can rope. All right, we could use somebody like you. Look at those green hearts, my favorite color. Computer, turn the lights on 100%. I guess they already are. Let's go ahead and get you guys to green, man. Green lights. Where are you, green? I know I got you. Green. Green. I like it. All right. Crystal, all in love, Sister Serena. I love it. Hey, Valerie. All right. So one of you are getting aboard that boat, and you're going to have a heck of a time. You're going to have a heck of a story, I'll tell you that. Oh, Rudy, then. You're brave enough, Sean. Fantastic. Elizabeth Ramirez, I see you. Hey, Daddy. Is that all, Daddy? Becky Ridge. Becky Ridge, Becky Ridge. All right, so we got Becky Ridge for the story. Creature, can you explain the Appalachian Mountain stories? Medic, I would absolutely love to do that. I've got a whole bunch of those. All right, Becky Ridge, jump aboard. All right. Becky had never seen the water so pure and green in her life. She's on a boat. It's a cabin cruiser. It's a really interesting boat. She's only about 67 feet long. It's a big boat, and it's crewed ordinarily by a crew as small as one. You could run that whole boat yourself, but they're traveling with 4 people aboard this vessel. It's a boat that was bought. They're dropping it off in the Bimini's, and it's a friend of hers. That's what they do for a living. They're a boat broker. They buy boats in different places, and they travel with them. It just so happens that they were taking this boat to the beautiful island of Bimini, and they were lacking another crew member. It wasn't much work. All our friend would have to do would be to tie a few ropes and have to tie off the dock and a few other things, help with some chores aboard the boat. It'd be 3 days, more of a pleasure than anything because they had a few days to spare. They could make it shorter in about a day and a half of just chugging along. But they chose to take their time and enjoy the vessel. It was extraordinarily expensive, a beautiful boat. It looked like a Grady White in some ways. It had a forward salon, and it had a encapsulated back deck that you could actually cover with a decking material, like a visqueen. It was perfect for the weather that they've been having, a bit of a cold snap in Florida. But as our friend Becky looked out over the water, she saw how green and how beautiful it was. Let me get you on the board. We got to get our board set back up. Becky Ridge, she was so grateful that her friend had called her at the last minute. She stood on the open part of the back deck looking out, holding a cup of coffee in her hands. Even though it was Florida, the Gulf of Mexico can get a little bit chilly this time of year. January can be cold on the water, but it was still about 65 degrees. They had passed a few storms earlier. They were cruising out past Key West. They were in the beautiful Gulf at this point. The water had turned from a beautiful green to a teal to a bright blue by the time they had gotten midway out. The storms had started up a little bit, but it wasn't all that bad. They had a little bit of time left that night before they would stop the night and they would moor out. They were traveling through and bang! It came so fast, so powerfully, that everybody on board hit the deck. If you've ever been aboard a boat that hits ground, you'll know the feeling. That is exactly what Becky thought had happened. She had hardly ever been aboard a boat at all in her life. When she fell to the ground, she was grateful that she didn't fall overboard into the water. What in the heck was that? She heard one of the other members yell. There was a captain, and then the rest of the crew were making her for. The others said, I don't know. And then I heard a scream. It was a scream that nobody ever wants to hear in the open ocean. It was Becky's own scream. We're taking water! Oh no, water! And sure enough, water was coming in so fast that it was already up to their knees. They were looking down at everything floating. The ship began to list to one side. And then I heard the captain yell, "Where's the lifeboat? We're going down!" It was like a horror movie, like something from a horror movie, Becky thought. She didn't have time to even go get her things. She saw a bag of goods and a pack of, I believe it might have been food, she thought. It might have been, or it might have been medical supplies. She didn't know. She grabbed it, hoping that it was the raft. "I don't know where the raft is. It's outside," she heard one of the other members yell. And they all went out struggling, trying to get to the decking. By the time that they did, the entire ship was listing. The water was cold. Even there, heading towards Bimini, it was cold, too cold, and it was night. Oh my God! I heard somebody scream. Another was praying. They made their way to the side. The raft itself looked like nothing more than a gigantic bed in a bag. And Becky looked at the pitiful thing, thinking, we're all gonna die here! We're all gonna die here! She began to scream, and it sounded to them like they would. Nobody had any time to think what had capsized them. Nobody had any time to consider if it was a boat or underwater object. All they had time to do was gather what meager supplies they could. They got out into the open ocean. They were clinging to the raft when I heard the captain yell, "Get back! Get away from it! It's going to open up!" And there was an explosive whoosh! And sure enough, that boat opened up on itself. Boom, 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 opened into the water, opening up, exploding like a children's bounce house. And the sound of the air escaping, the bladder, the oxygen bladder, inflated the entire boat, and they began to clamber aboard. Ah! Somebody screamed. It was a man by the name of Jack. He was one of the crew members who had been with them for years. Jack was in his 60s, a strong, fit, older man. Ah! He screamed. Well, he had no idea why he was screaming. They were trying to get in the boat. He was the last one in. They grabbed him by his arms and pulled him up. He was still screaming as loud as he had ever screamed. Our friend had veritably flew aboard the boat. Becky had jumped aboard the boat as quick as lightning. She was safe. When they pulled him on board, the headlight flickered on. One of them had brought a headlamp from the bag, and they saw why the man was screaming. Becky had never seen so much blood. She had never seen a man wounded like that. The man was gone. He was gone. She saw his pelvis and his intestines, but no legs. His manhood had been taken. He was nothing but an abdomen. She had seen an injury like that once on social media. The man had somehow lived, but this, his eyes, his mouth was moving. He was alive. He was asking for help, but no air was getting in. Becky began to vomit, then scream, "Oh God, what happened to him?" And it was Becky that looked out and screamed, "Shark!" And sure enough, there was a shark. You could see it in the moonlight, in the dark water, with the clouds opening overhead. It was as pale as a fish's belly. It veritably glowed white in that light, like the belly of some great white, but the whole shark was white, but for its black, horrifying eyes, like dowel eyes, like big black dowel eyes. As it lifted its head periscoping out of the water, it was investigating this strange new food source. And Becky screamed again, like a banshee. The others also screamed before the captain clamped his hands over their mouth. "Shut up! Shut up now! It can hear you, damn it! Be calm and don't make any noise!" Computer, skip. Computer, skip. Computer, skip. Computer, skip! Sorry, guys. I have no idea why I did not want to listen to me. I'm about ready to go full out yelling. Good night. That was annoying. Poor Shelley slipped through it too. She can slip through anything. Sorry for that brief break while I yelled at my music device, but son of a biscuit. Hey, Fraggle. PayPal, you're amazing. I saw that. Thank you, friend. I'll tell you, it'll help more now than ever if you enjoy the stories. The captain seemed to be right. When he screamed, the shark continued circling, but it didn't periscope any longer. It seemed curious about them, not so sure. Becky almost screamed again, "Ah!" when the fin went under the boat. They felt the whole boat go up and ride on the shark's back. It was the most terrifying experience, but somehow they didn't make a peep. The shark circled and circled some more when the radio that they had brought with them went off. No! The captain lunged for it, trying to turn it off. It was a Mayday beacon, their SOS. The Coast Guard had gotten in touch, but the minute it went on, the shark circled. It circled. They didn't turn it off in time. They saw the shark coming back. They saw it periscope out of the water, its massive teeth, unlike any shark teeth that I've ever seen. Its strange, snaggle-toothed, horrifying looking, like vampire's teeth in its mouth. It looked up at the boat, gingerly, almost like a dog taking a toy it didn't want to hurt. It opened its mouth and it sampled the boat. It wasn't made for it. The sound of air escaping. It was too much for Becky. She screamed then. She had already been down in the water once. She had come out of the water, and she thought that she had never, ever, ever survive it again. And now another boat was going down. We're going to die here. The captain, he wouldn't let them die here. He began talking to the Coast Guard. There's a shark in the water. We need you here now. How far are you? Our coordinates are. You have to come now. The ship was going down, and the captain told them this in the most calm voice that I had ever heard. Listen, ladies, you need to listen to me now. You're going to live through this. You're going to live, but you have to listen to me. Can you listen to me? The minute you get in the water, this raft is going to pop. It will not capsize. There's many other bladders on it. It's made like that. You need to stay in the wreckage of the craft. You need to stay absolutely still. Can you listen to me? The captain said. The women nodded their heads in understanding. No matter what happens to me, you stick with the craft. You float as if you're a piece of seaweed, as if you are dead. Do you understand me? Yes. Ah! The captain roared at the top of his lungs. Hey, you damn big fish, come over here. He began yelling at it. He jumped out into the water. I've never seen anything so brave in my life. He jumped and he began swimming, immediately going down under the water. He never came up. Both of the women did exactly as he said. They stayed there with the craft floating around them like flotsam. They never moved, barely breathing. The shark came back to investigate, and when it did, the ship came like a beacon in the night, like a miracle it was. The ship came. The men on board saw the shark. They couldn't believe it. The lights drove it away, the massive lights aboard the Coast Guard cutter. It was a Coast Guard ship. It made it to them in time. The massive spotlights peering for the survivors is what frightened this Leviathan away. They then took them aboard. They would not have believed their story if they had not found it, if they had not gotten it on film. In fact, after they had been treated for shock, no injuries, both Becky and the other lady, the other survivor, they were taken from the hospital, interviewed by the news. Not long afterwards, it was discovered the world's very first species of megalodon can 100% alive and well. It seems that it had went deep, the megalodon. They never went extinct. They went through rapid evolutionary metabolic changes, beneficial mutations, where their teeth were made now to hunt giant squid. They were long and sharp, like a vampire's tooth, barbed at the end, made just like a spear for grabbing a slippery old tentacled thing and eating it down. They're alive, and Becky Ridge was one of the people to find it. Did you know that her name is in it? It's called Carcharodon, the name of the ancient great white species, Carcharodon ridge. True, you should look it up. I love you guys. And that's going to be the last story of the night, but we're going to go on an adventure now. And I'm going to put our board up. If you enjoy these stories and you want to see us continue to make these stories and you wanted to actually help, those are some of the ways you can do it. You don't have to give anything here. You just have to enjoy the stories, hopefully. But for the friends that used to support us over on TikTok and they'd like to support us here, those are ways that we get the majority of that support. And I'm going to try to set up our TikTok or our YouTube gifting, and I think that there might be something called Super Chat. I've seen it before because I've given people, $1.99, $5.99. I've given it to people before, so I know that I'm set up on it. I just have to figure it out. We're going to go down to the dock, and we're going to look for our very own shark. We're going to go on an adventure. Computer, turn the lights on white. So if you did want to, there you go. And I'm going to go get my adventure gear on so I'm not freezing when we walk out into the night, and I need to get my flashlight and stuff. I love you guys. I really appreciate you being here. You don't have to give anything. The fact that you've given us your time for all these years and your attention and your love, I can't believe it. When TikTok went dark, I'm going to tell you, I had a dream. I was in there trying to get a nap so I could go live with you guys until it went dark. And I had a dream where I woke up crying. This has been something that happens in my life. Sometimes I'll wake up and have a horrible dream and I'm just soaking and drenched. My beard was soaking with tears. And there was a dream about it going dark, and I immediately rolled over and I went and looked, and it was on, and I felt that hope. So I got ready because I wanted to be with my family. No matter what happened, I wanted to be with my family. I don't have family except for my social media family. My wife and you are my family, and I wanted to be with you tonight. So I went on Uncle TikTok and I began telling stories, and it went dark again. And I came over here immediately because I promised you that I would. And I had told myself, if you have 5 people over there, then you are rich. And I got over here and I've seen almost 100 tonight. I'm wealthy. And you don't have to give a dime. You've made me wealthy with family and love. Something that I've never had. People that care to hear these weird stories, care to hear about my life. So, any support after that is icing on the cake. And I'm going to get some stuff together so I can take you down and we can check out the Iowa. And yes, I do have a Speedo on down there. Just in case. I'll be right back, guys. It's 63 degrees, it's not bad at all. So I'm gonna start gearing up, and we're gonna go down and see what we can get into. See what kind of mischief. There's a good shirt for Creech, huh? Ta-da! 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 And we usually end up having a story on the fly, so don't go anywhere yet. I hope you guys are subscribed. If you haven't already, I hope you'll follow us here. I promise you I'm going to be making a lot of content over on Uncle YouTube. I'm really loving it so far. I love the fact that I can make videos that I love to make, me handling animals and working with critters, and I won't get in trouble for it here if I pick up a snake. So you're going to see a lot different content here than you would over on Uncle TikTok. Usually I tell you stories about the adventures. I'm going to be doing both here. I'm going to be having the adventures and telling you stories about them. Going over to the island and telling you the stories that you guys love. There could be bears tonight, could be raccoons, there could be possum. We got a real bad bear problem, so we're gonna run into a bear one of these nights. And ran into some raccoons last night and an opossum. River otters, there's down river otters we've seen in the water. There's many different birds. There's shark. There's alligator in the summer, possibly. Probably not tonight. But we'll start seeing some of those goodies here soon. Got my head lamp. One for the mud and one for the blood. There we go. Oh, sorry guys. Don't worry, I got this old hoodie. Somebody gave it to me. It's super comfy though. All right. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Right there. And you guys. All right. Let me go give her a little kiss goodnight, and we'll go for an adventure. I love you. I'm going to go for an adventure. You do. You can stay right there. I'll turn the light off if you want. You want to stay there? You gotta go to bed, poor thing. Look at how sweet. Oh. All right, let's go on an adventure together, you and I. I got my keys, I'm gonna take my stick. I think we'll take that stick tonight. And some bear spray, maybe. Hey, Gulf Coast, are you serious? Is that my brother Golf? No way. Golf, did you see this, brother? We had so much fun tonight. I'm so, wait. We gotta get you out. We gotta get you set up here. Scott is now our newest moderator too. I got you, brother. I'm so excited. All right, let's go down for an adventure, shall we? I got my keys, I got everything I need. I don't have a bottle of water, but I think Shelly might have bought some bottled water, which I will need because I talk a lot. So let me get some water real fast, huh? Give me just 2 seconds here. I know that she's got water. Yeah, look at that. Have you seen my podcasting studio? I'm working on another episode for you guys right now. I gotta get that out. This is ordinarily my podcast studio. I got some of the stuff in there, but most of it's out. So it's the quietest room in the house. It's great for video editing and stuff. All right, got a bottle of water now. Got my stick, and we're gonna go, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this area and what we might get into. And maybe tomorrow night we'll go for a nice ride afterwards down to the beach, or we'll go on a beach walk. I could hop you in the truck right now. I could drive you down to the beach a few miles away. We could beach walk and go swimming at the beach if we wanted to. Crazy to think the things we can do now for fun. Is it raining? I hope not. All right, you guys give me a second here. Make sure she's safe in there. It's raining a little bit, no problemo. Hopefully we'll have good reception. It's looking like it might be. I'll flip you guys around as soon as we get down here just a little bit and get the light going. I can hear the ocean and the wind in the distance. It's probably a fun night to swim or kayak, I'll tell you that. All right. I'll put the light on here for you in just a minute. We'll get to looking at what we can find. I don't want to wake up a very sweet neighbor. All right, I gotta figure out how to turn this around. There we go. There we go. That's gonna be in the water soon, guys, by the way. We're gonna take you guys down to Crab Island and stuff soon. And Crab Island is a beautiful destination in the area. We can take that jet ski right from here to it. It's gonna be on the dock here probably in the next month or so. There's our home that many of you have known so well that we've traveled with. We're hoping that we can get it set up here for maybe visits from some of our friends. We got a spot to hook it up. until we get down to the dock area. We'll see what we can see down there. You guys let me know how the reception is so far. I'm really hoping that you'll be able to see well and that it's a better experience. TikTok always has prioritized bandwidth to people, just, and it's just, it's smart to the people that, are earning and the people that have the busy chat rooms and things. When there are slowdowns, it usually affects the smaller guys. It's what I was told, at least. I don't know if there's any truth to it or not. It's kind of like on a cellular tower that if you have Verizon, you get priority cellular coverage, and if you have like a company that buys off of them, they get not as good coverage. Does that make sense? Do you hear that water and the wind? Listen to that. First of all, let's say hello to the flower. Hello, flower. There's 70 friends here. I'm going to come down and read the chat. I'm so excited to have you. Wait till you see this area. Oh, man, is the water up or what? Do you hear that? That's the ocean that we're listening to over there. So, on my wish list, I have a kayak phone holder with a leash on it, and as soon as I can buy it, I'm going to buy it. But I can't really take you guys out in the kayak without it. So I'm going to try to get that this week, maybe, and that'll go right here. And after our lives, I'll put this in the water, and we'll go paddling out right now. I would do it. I would take you guys out. I can go swimming right now if I want, though. Let's go down to the end of the dock first and see if we see any critters in the water. Last night it was full of worms, a type of like a glassworm or something. Look at how clear that water is, y'all. Can you see so far? Hey, Kate. Hope you can see all right. But we're going to do a lot of fishing down here together tonight, too. In fact, we could go fishing tonight if we wanted to. And I got the Speedo on if I feel like a swim. Listen to that. That's the sound of the waves crashing against the ocean. Where we're at right now is we're in the Sound, the Santa Rosa Sound. And just to the other side, you can't really see. Let me turn the light to where you can now. Those islands we're going to start camping on over there, but just where my light is, you can barely make out some of that. Just to the other side of that is the ocean. And it is beating the heck out of the shore tonight. You can hear that. Wind and waves. The reception is great, Kirsten, so that means we're going to be able to do a lot more down here. After our lives, we can come down and do some fishing, some more storytelling, and we can go down in the kayak. If I take you out in the kayak right now, the reception will be great. I could take you right to the island. In fact, if I hopped in right now, I could paddle and we'd be there in 2 minutes, and that's what I'll do. I will do that after the live, and I don't have to worry about getting in trouble for it. We'll go over to the island. We could even set a fire up, have everything ready, just go over and start the fire, and camp out, put the hammock up, do whatever we want. So this was a trial run, and I want to read comments for the next little bit. I want to see what you thought of our first trial run, and I always want to hear what can be better. We're going to be setting stuff up this week with all kinds of different, trying new things, so I want to read the chat and see what you guys think about our first night. Gulf Coast, I'm so glad to see you, brother. I can't tell you how happy I am. I have one bar, so I'll probably lose you for a minute. Snake oil vegan, you're the best. You know that. She said your voice, or I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say she. I don't know if you are or not. You have a voice that gives me chills. Hey, Kate Thomas, we totally need wormholes and s'mores. We're going to do that. I want to thank everyone for being here. Meemaw, I'm so happy to see you moderating and being freaking amazing. And so we've had a Meemaw, guys. If you join us and subscribe here to our YouTube, you'll have a Meemaw here. And this live will be available for you to listen to in its entirety, which will be a really cool new thing. So if you missed your story or anything, you can come back for it. But I was just so happy to see you guys tonight. Here, Fishy is right. Gulf Coast has caught more fish off here than I have, I think. He's been down here with me catching fish. And he actually caught. I just talk too much. Hey, Nicole Fink, I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad to have you guys here. So we are going to be back on tomorrow night. This was our first trial run, and I'm just my prerequisites for this trial run were just to see friends, and you guys have done that. So let's read some more chat, and I'll probably get off here, get some sleep, and get everything ready for Monday. Any mods on a laptop, it's easier. What the hell was that? Did you hear that? What the hell was that? That was a shark. What the hell was? Oh my gosh! What is that? Look at it. Oh my God, guys. Please tell me you saw that and you heard that. Holy crap. Anybody, did you see that? Holy cow. You subscribe, Snake Oil? You're the best. That was a shark that just breached, and it might come up and check out my light. I saw its whole body out of the water. It was massive. Friggin' massive. That was a shark. Holy cow, man. Don't you tell Shelly about that. I had to be a shark. It looked like either, if not, it was the biggest tarpon I've ever seen in my freaking life. It breached all the way out like a dolphin. Oh my Lord. Edmundo. Oh, it's too dark. I'm sorry, buddy. I heard the splash. When I looked over, I saw it out of the water. I was like, holy cow. I'm checking the water now to see if I see whatever it was coming to investigate. That was nuts. I did not. Wow. All right. Sorry, guys. I can't see anything. Sorry, guys. I know it's really black. So something breached while we were talking there, and it jumped out, and I saw the big silver body. It looked like it had a big, it looked like a fin on the back. So it could have been a dolphin, but I just don't know. It was pretty wild, though. You did hear it at least, yeah. Hey, Nicole. We'll get some lights down here too on the dock. Now that we know that we have some reception, we've been planning on getting lights and stuff down here, but we didn't know what would happen with TikTok, if we would have anybody that still wanted story time. So we'll get this area set up for stories down here too, and hopefully a better way to see whatever's out there. It doesn't keep me out of the water. I'll still swim right now, but there's a weird worm. There's one of those worms wriggling around. That's creepy. Now that's the reason I don't want to go in the water. I don't care about the shark. I don't want that thing in my orifices. Who wants to go in the water and have that thing crawling up in your ear hole? Huh? Yeah? Anybody? I don't jump in the ocean at night. You're absolutely right. And I probably should rethink going in for a swim right now. No, they never come this way. They usually stay right out in that channel. That was amazing, though, y'all. I'll tell you what. If I was out kayaking right now and I heard that, and it was right next to the boat, it would about give me a jump scare. Hold on, there's more worms. I'm trying to get the screen to where you can see them. Let's see if there's any up close. There's one. There's another one. Look at it.
It's like, just sit still, I'm coming to you. Yes, relax, cough while I enter into your orifices. Don't worry, I'm only going to take over your body and brain. That's all I am. I'm just the type of worm, a brain worm.
Thank you, moderators, for being amazing tonight. Thank you, everybody who's come in, gifted me with your time, with your energy, your awesome ideas for stories, for your kind words, just being here with us and making us feel like our community is strong no matter where we find it. And I promise you, I'm going to do my best to not let you down as a content creator, to give you a safe place here. And I have a feeling I'm going to give you some brothers and sisters soon. You guys keep sharing me out, and before long, everybody's going to be coming in for story time and adventures. You mark my words, and it wouldn't happen without you. So thank you for taking part, however you have been taking part. We really appreciate it. And I'm going to walk back up to the casa. I don't think I'm going to swim tonight. I might wade out in the water, but I don't think I'm going to swim. Let's see what's lurking under the dock, shall we? If I do swim, I probably will stay pretty close to the dock tonight. But I would take you out in the kayak and investigate right now if we had a good phone stand that I wasn't worried about it knocking my phone into the water. That's really the only thing I'm afraid of. With that new phone thing, it's attached to my body. So if I swap the kayak, my phone, it's attached to me and the stand. Like it goes onto your side and the stand, and it breaks off of the stand. It comes with you. So that's why I'm like, that's the only reason. Or I'd take that one out right now with you. But I don't think it would be good to lose the phone. All right. Let me turn this around. Sorry, guys. Let's head back to the house. Gulf Coast, I'm so happy, brother. See spinner sharks, crazy breaching? Yeah, that was definitely looked like a spinner, brother. If it was a shark, you don't really see tigers or anything breaching very often. Sometimes hammerhead will, but yeah. It could have been a big tarpon, too. But I could have swore when I just caught what looked like a fin. But whatever it was big and it was loud. Just came out and hit so hard. And it was almost like it wanted to get my attention. Excuse me, guys. I need to spit. Be gross. Hey, Serena. So, guys, I'm so pleased with our trial run. We're going to have some new features. We're getting a phone set up just for you to call in so we can talk about all kinds of crazy stuff and tell you stories over the phone. It's just going to be good. We're also going to have that phone set up to hear from you guys. We'll have a website up. Patreon. I need to check Patreon. I need to get a website set up where you have easy, free access to go vote and things. And we're hoping that this week Shelly's been helping me tirelessly. But during the week, I have to work this weekend. I have to figure it out. So we're gonna figure it out. But if anybody has any ideas for a website and a web place that we could go to while we're on YouTube and we could have easy access to it, that would be great. Because I want you guys to be able to put your ideas there and be able to read your chat easier. What is that critter making a weird noise? Do you hear that, y'all? Some sort of bird? Interesting. Sounds more like a bird than a frog. All right. I smell gasoline. Like, I don't know, propane or gas. I don't like that. We're back at the Casa. I'm going to go in and say goodnight to all of our friends and thank you one by one that I see. And we'll go from there. Sorry I didn't swim. I'll tell you what, we'll do that next time we go down. Or we'll kayak. If I can get that daggone phone holder with you and kayak. But I gotta make sure I don't want to lose. That would really be we wouldn't be able to replace it. We're almost gonna pay off this phone. We've been doing it for like 2 years. Shelly told me that we're like a month's payment away from getting our phone paid off. Did she let me in? Is that you? Oh, she must have went to bed. She scared me. You know what she did for me tonight? She knew that I was a little depressed because of the TikTok stuff. She made me stuffed peppers, my favorite meal. She went and, while I was taking a little nap, she snuck down and she got all the stuff because she knew that the way to my heart is through my tummy. So she went and made me these, and I cannot wait. Let me show you. I'm gonna sit you guys down and show you. She's the most amazing thing in the world, and you guys are too, but let me sit you down for a second. Sorry, it's messy. I'll be right back. Yeah, let me get this off too, because it's hot. Your boy's having some stuffed peppers, and I'm so happy with that. Oh, these look so good. Ta-da-ta-da. With those worms, yeah, not with those worms in the water is right. Look at these beauties. Mima, anybody like stuffed peppers? Am I the only one that likes stuffed peppers? And she goes the extra mile. She got the colorful peppers instead of the green ones. Oh, I'd share if you were here. You're heading to bed, Crafty. We love you, Cutlass. I'm so glad you're here. And thank you for modding for us and being amazing. Hope our friends will follow us from here, too. We're going to start making some content. We'll put some of you guys, of course, in our content. We got some good videos with you in it. We still do, and I'll be able to put them over here. All that long form stuff that we filmed over, Christina, you thought that I'd never do anything with, it's going to be coming up here on the good camera. So Christina and I, she's going to bed, but we got to film some really cool stuff, swimming in waterfalls in the cold winter, and some really pretty footage of some cool spots in the Carolinas, and I get to put it up here for you guys. So Cutlass, you be ready for that one too. It gives me some idea. So I got to get all those zip drives out and get to work. But we appreciate you. Let me say goodnight to everybody. Snake Oil, I'm glad you were here. Let's get it is right. Kate, hamburger rice and some cheese. Oh, that sounds good. What's in the peppers, Mima? She does rice. She does basmati rice, and it is a game changer, basmati rice. Ground beef, basmati rice, tomato sauce, and a few other things, herbs and spices and onion, I think, she puts in. Making my mouth water, Mima. Yeah. Snake Oil. Susan Conley, I'm so glad to see you here. Good night, Cutlass. We love you. You love him, Karen Allen? Yay! You love him, Mima. Love him, Kate said. Oh, I'm not the only one. Thanks, Mima. If you hadn't told me, I wouldn't have never known. Oh, Nicole, isn't she great? Gulf Coast, we love you, brother. Need to have you back up. Becky Ridge, thank you for continuing. Love all the content. Thank you, Becky, for being here and giving me a reason to continue it. We're not curling up and dying anytime soon. We're going to get better and bigger. They've had me on a timeout there for years. I don't like that, so I haven't been creating as much content, but I will here. I'm excited for it again. Usually didn't even know it was me because my YouTube's under my full legal name. Oh, cool. Hey, Karen, and the cookies. Yeah, I got cookies. She made me cookies too. Oh my God. She knew that I was feeling some kind of way. She knew that without you guys, I was going to be depressed. Even though I've been putting a really happy face on and I've been smiling and saying we're going to be okay. You know, of course I was worried, and I don't want to do life without you guys. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back for story time, and I'm so happy. I don't know what's going to happen with Uncle TikTok. It might be that they're back tomorrow. It might be that they're back Monday, that President Trump gets us a stay of execution. If that's the case, we're still going to be swinging by and doing YouTube as well. So, I really am looking forward to that. But tomorrow we'll try the super chat mods. We'll see if that helps out at all. And again, please go to my link tree and find ways, every content creator is probably crying about it right now, but we all got in trouble there. So TikTok did not pay us out anything before they went dark. So if we don't get TikTok back, we don't get any payout back. So Shelly and I are going to be hurting. So thank you for everybody. I know we did. I know somebody gave, and I'm so grateful for that. And thank you so much for that. But PBS, like I said, it's all brought to you and funded by people like you. So thank you, and we'll see you mañana. But I hope your first time here with us has been swell, and you've made it really, really great for us. So thank you for being here. And tomorrow we'll maybe try another little trick. That was loud. That's why I have to sleep in a closet sometimes because of that loud stuff. But yeah, I've cried probably 3 times tonight. Happy tears for you being here. So thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow. That's 203 minutes of a live. You can go back and listen to it if you missed it, and hopefully we didn't get violated for music or anything. So we'll see you guys soon. Thank you for being you. Get outside. It's good for you. Oh, here's an animal to look up. I didn't get to talk much about that. Real quick, there's been a few animals to talk about tonight. You can check out the short fin mako, really, really cool shark. Read up on them on Uncle Wikipedia maybe. But there's a really cool animal that reminds me of Christopher Omeganaut. I'm going to just have to do a video about it. But it's a type of pelagic octopus, and it's called the greater argonaut. And it's an octopus. The female creates a beautiful shell around herself. It's a really neat critter, and I think you would like it. But if you like your critters on land, here's a bird that you can check out. Look up the ocellated turkey from Mexico, and I'll do a video for those people that like birds soon too. But we're going to start doing a lot more animal content over here and some feel-good stories about them and all the stuff that I really, really love that I hope you'll find some part of my content that you like, whether it's serial killers or the animals that I love, or I'm going to do a little bit of everything that I like, and you can watch what you like, and what you don't like, don't watch. We get to finally do some bushcraft and some camping content, which I'm really excited for too. So hopefully you'll find something that you guys enjoy. And tomorrow, hopefully I'll have that number set up to where I want you guys to know above all that I'm here for you. That whoever comes in, whether you're new, old, no matter what you think, what your religion, your politics, doesn't matter. If you're hurting, you need somebody to talk to. If you ever, God forbid, you get to a place, heaven forbid, you get to a place where you just don't feel like you have any place here, let me remind you, you do have a place on this planet. And I want you to know that you're here for a purpose. Even if you don't know what it is, you're here for a purpose, and we love you. And I'm glad that you're in this world. So thank you guys. We'll see you mañana. Be well.